right. Well, happy birthday to everyone, including Bert Kreischer, celebrating birthdays today. Let's see if we can get an answer to the stupid question this morning. The Yankees have the most World Series titles with 27. Which franchise has the second most and how many? 215-263 WMMR, our number. And we will go to Anthony for the answer. Anthony, good morning.
Hey, good morning, guys.
Gadzooks. What's wrong, Case?
I misunderstood your question.
Okay.
Okay,
All
sorry.
right. So anyhow, you think you would have gotten it right?
No, I did.
Hey, Anthony, what's your answer?
St. Louis with 11.
Yes.
Yeah.
The Cardinals have had 11
What
World
happened?
Series titles and 11.
So the Yankees have the most championships in all American professional sports franchises with 27. I thought he was asking which franchise of all the sports, hockey, basketball, and football as well, has the most, and that was the Canadians. So,
Oh, see, you wrote Canadians, and I'm looking at this upside down, and I thought it was Cardinals.
yeah,
All right, anyhow, no, the most World Series titles.
yeah, my bad.
So the Yankees had 27, the Cardinals had 11, and Anthony now gets tickets to see live.
It still worked out for Anthony.
It did.
Good job,
it's
Ant.
Presented by WMMR. This show is going to be on November 18th, the Excite Center inside Parks Casino in Ben Salem, 21 and over event, and tickets are sold out. You can check out other great upcoming events at parkscasino.com. Let's begin with this story. Chadwick Boseman's wife, Simone, spoke with Whoopi Goldberg Tuesday in her first sit-down interview since Chadwick's death in August of 2020. She said, "It's been the most challenging 2 years I've ever had in my life." When Whoopi asked if it was hard to keep the severity of his illness a secret, she said, well, it was COVID when things were really starting to spiral, and that meant that everybody was in their house and there was no pressure for anybody to go outside. It seemed like, is this a crazy coincidence that we get to actually be inside, that we get to be here with family together, and everybody in the world is also experiencing this togetherness in the midst of this awful, scary, unpredictable time? We kept that circle real. Our circle was basically a dot, she said. Through tears, she added, I can't believe that I was so lucky. I can't believe that I got to love this person and I also got them to love me too. Yeah, it's still crazy to think.
Yeah, it is.
He's gone, and he had just reached
The pinnacle.
the pinnacle of his career so far.
I remember the actor who had worked with him on a set and was interpreting what was going on as him being a diva, not realizing he was being treated for pain management. Yeah.
It's too bad. Speaking of ill health, Sharon Stone is emphasizing the importance of getting a second opinion when it comes to medical diagnoses. On Tuesday, the Basic Instinct actress took to her Instagram stories to share that she had just had another misdiagnosis and incorrect procedure. When the pain got worse after receiving a double epidural, Stone said she sought a second opinion, and that's when doctors found a large fibroid tumor that must come out. And she said, ladies in particular, don't get blown off. Get a second opinion. It can save your life. I'll be down for 4 to 6 weeks for full recovery. Thanks for your care. It's all good.
I think that's so important because a lot of people will, they know their doctor, they trust them, and you get referred, you go to a specialist, and they say, this is what you have, and that's it. And you're like, okay, and you believe them.
If it's important, yes, you get a second. Dr. Mike was my second opinion. I was not pregnant.
That is good. You were like, this can't be right.
Just doesn't seem right,
Well,
Dr. Mike, immediately.
Dr. Mike actually told me a few weeks ago, he goes, I don't like this. You need a second opinion. And the second opinion was the right one, not the original one.
All right.
There's a perfect example.
Yep, most definitely. Hey, filmmaker Paul Haggis told jurors on Wednesday that he believed he had a consensual encounter with a woman who later accused him of rape, portraying himself as a flirt who had acted on what he thought was mutual attraction. Publicist Haley Breest alleges that he had forced her to perform oral and then raped her in 2013 as she repeatedly told him no. As Haggis took the stand as the defendant in the civil rape trial, he said she never, quote, gave me any indication that it was anything other than consensual until he heard from her attorneys in 2017. She sued soon after. For 5 years, he said, I've been unable to clear my name, and now I will. Breest earlier gave the jury an extensive account of the alleged assault. She had said, I said, stop, stop, stop. She is seeking unspecified damages. There are no criminal charges in the case. Haggis's testimony is due to continue Thursday, and it hasn't yet addressed all of Briest's accusations. So
It's pretty wild.
that continues.
You
Yeah.
know, he's claiming, or at least his lawyer has floated out the possibility that there is a Scientology
Yep. Campaign.
element to this. Who
Yeah.
knows?
Yep. Speaking of lawsuits, Mariah Carey is heading into November with an early Christmas present, the $20 million copyright lawsuit that she was facing over the hit All I Want for Christmas Is You has been dismissed.
Yay!
Musician Andy Stone, who performs as Vince Vance.
Vince Vance.
Yeah, it's a stupid name.
Yeah.
Filed to dismiss his
And
case.
now, the singer with the stupid name, Vince Vance.
He has filed to dismiss his case. So the development comes 5 months after Stone accused Carey and her co-writers of copyright infringement and unjust enrichment over her song, which shares a title with one of his own.
That's
tracks.
it.
Yeah, that's it. So Stone filed to dismiss the case without prejudice, which means it can be brought again. Stone filed a civil lawsuit against Carey, co-writer Walter Afanasieff, and Sony Music Entertainment in June, claiming that they never sought or obtained permission to use the song title, All I Want for Christmas Is You. Stone's song was released in 1989. Mariah's came out in 1994.
Come on.
The singer-songwriter claimed in the lawsuit that his song, which features vocals from Lisa Lane, received extensive airplay on the radio during the 1993 Christmas season, propelling the country ballad to number 55 on Billboard's Hot Country Singles and Tracks chart the following year.
So Vince Vance hired Lisa Lane.
Yes, that's correct. Yeah.
We're looking at him, and he is, I guess, what you'd call the male Mariah Carey.
Yeah, he's a lot like
He
that.
looks like a lit match.
An amended complaint filed weeks after claimed that the lyrics of both tracks contain, quote, substantial similarities and tell the same story, incorporating the same arc from beginning to end. An individual who wants their partner more than material goods or seasonal comforts. Stone's lawyers allege in the documents that they initially reached out to Carey and the other defendants in April of 2021 over the unauthorized use of the song. After they were unable to come to an agreement, Stone made a personal request to send a cease and desist to Carey, whom he claims continues to exploit his work despite the letter.
That's one of the songs, you know, that's lightning in a bottle to create a song that is now part of the Christmas songbook.
Yeah, it'll be in the rotation
It is forever.
no matter what.
Yes.
You're right. It topped the Billboard Hot 100 charts and is the only Christmas song to have been certified diamond by the RIAA for more than 10 million copies sold.
Wow.
That is 10 million.
10 million,
Yes.
10 million, 10 million copies.
10 million, 10 million, 10 million.
Copies.
The track has also earned at least $60 million in royalties.
Wow.
So it's done very, very well for Mariah. Italian paramilitary police raided hotel rooms used by employees of a catering company on the Equalizer 3 set on the Amalfi Coast and arrested 2 caterers after seizing more than 100 grams of cocaine on Tuesday.
Uh-oh.
Is that a lot of cocaine? I don't
100 grams. I don't know how many pounds that would weigh in.
It's about 3 feet.
Or I guess grams would break down. I don't know.
A kilogram is about 2.5 pounds.
Okay. But I don't know how many grams.
How many grams
a kilogram?
I don't know how much
100?
this is.
Kilogram is
How much is
kilo
that doggy in the
1,000
window?
All right,
grams.
hold on. What are we trying to convert? Give it to me.
100 grams into pounds.
Yeah, that's less than a pound.
Is less than a pound?
Oh,
Yeah.
come on.
Yes, it's 0.2.
Yeah.
A 0.2? I mean, okay, so that's a quarter pound. That's a lot of cocaine.
Well,
Isn't that?
maybe
Yeah.
it's just for their
Yeah.
use.
Yeah.
A quarter pound of cocaine is a lot of cocaine.
Yeah.
A gram of cocaine is, let's
know.
see. Let's see. Let me go back to the 1980s.
Yeah,
See what-
yeah. What would Crockett
See
and
what the
Tubbs tell
conversion
you?
rate would have
Yeah.
been.
Cocaine.
So
Put
anyway.
on your pastel covered jacket.
I told you guys a couple years ago, somebody asked me if I wanted to do cocaine. And I was like,
You were like, yeah.
I was like, no, thank you. And then I almost said, do people still do cocaine? But yes, apparently a lot of people do cocaine.
Apparently they do.
Anyway, cops broke into hotel rooms in the seaside resort of Maori, and they used by Equalizer 3 caterers after the head of the film's catering service suddenly died of a heart attack on Monday evening, and several small packages of cocaine were subsequently found in the man's clothing, raising suspicions that there could be more drugs on the production's premises. The police search yielded 120 grams of cocaine and led the two other members of the film's catering vendor being placed under house arrest in the hotel on alleged drug dealing charges.
They knew something was up because Denzel ordered a minute steak and got it in 11 seconds.
Wow.
Yeah.
Equalizer 3 is currently in its fourth week of shooting.
I can't wait.
In Italy, yeah. I liked the first
Now that I
one.
know they were eating cocaine.
Right. Breaking Bad star Aaron Paul has filed a petition to change his name along with his wife and child. The 43-year-old actor has made the decision to undergo an official name change for all members of the family and submitted the documents to make it official. Aaron, whose real surname is actually Sturtevant, has been known in the acting world by his alternative moniker for years and now wants wife Lauren Parasikian and his baby son to have new names, too.
I see that as being a logical move. He's known that way.
Yeah.
Right.
However, their little boy won't be changing his surname. He's already registered as Paul, despite his parents not currently being officially called the name. But his Christian names are actually going to be changed. He was born Casper Emerson, and they're changing his name to Ryden Caspian.
What was the deal with Meatloaf at the time of his death? Was he simply Meatloaf? I know he changed
I don't know.
his name legally.
They have already,
Double Beatloaf?
Maybe that's what his. Maybe that he was born as Double Beatloaf and changed it to Meatloaf. They have already been using the new name for the baby on their social media accounts and have stated that they want to create a uniform family name that ties in with Aaron's stage name, hence the change.
If you were to pick a Beatle as your last name, as he did, what would you pick? Preston Ringo?
See, Preston Paul wouldn't.
No, it would not work.
No.
You'd be spitting all over everyone.
And Preston
Lennon.
George.
Preston John.
Well, I guess George is the last name, right?
Preston George.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely.
Preston John.
I think Preston Harrison works.
Preston-
Are we going first names or last
I
names?
like
You can
Preston
eat
McCartney.
whatever you want.
Yeah.
Preston
McCartney.
I mean, that like you guys can get married.
Preston McCartney.
It's great talking to you.
How'd you get in here?
I just found my way into the dreamscape technology. The same way that Dennis Quaid violated that woman.
Were you listening earlier?
I was, loved the show so much. Didn't win the $1,000 though.
No, I'm sorry. You didn't
Try
win.
it for Yoo-hoo Loot?
Absolutely. Yoo-hoo, whoopie-doo, whoopie-doo.
Whoop-de-doo loot.
That's the next one.
Okay. Well, anyway, we can talk about this. Born in April and is the couple's second child. They already share a 4-year-old daughter whose name is Story Annabelle Paul.
Annabelle.
That is correct. Yes. So
Raiden and Story.
yeah,
Annabelle.
and Annabelle.
Raiden, that's from Mortal Kombat, right?
Is it?
Yeah,
You know,
it is.
he's a big gamer.
I think you're right. One of those characters was Raiden.
Scorpion taken, I guess.
And his daughter, Crash Bandicoot.
Yeah, or Sub-Zero. Who are you, Sub-Zero? Let's see. In an interview with IndieWire published on Tuesday, Daniel Radcliffe commented on the open letter that he wrote for the Trevor Project's website in 2020 in response to J.K. Rowling's transphobic comments. In the letter, Radcliffe had declared transgender women are women. And the actor told the outlet, the reason I felt very, very much as though I needed to say something when I did was because, particularly since finishing Potter, I met so many queer and trans kids and young people who had a huge amount of identification with Potter on that. And so seeing them hurt on that day, I was like, I wanted them to know that not everybody in the franchise felt that way. And that was really important. And he said, it was really important as I've worked with the Trevor Project for more than 10 years. And so I don't think that I would have been able to look myself in the mirror had I not said anything. So that's why he had decided to speak out at that point.
I still follow J.K. Rowling on Twitter, and it's remarkable to me that she still fights this fight as much as she does. She's very vocal about it, and I don't begrudge her for having an opinion on it, but she is incredibly vocal about what her opinion is, and she never backs down. So for better or worse, she just keeps going with it.
Okay. On a recent episode of the Not Skinny But Not Fat podcast, Ashley Tisdale revealed that she never thought that her High School Musical co-star Zac Efron was hot. She said, it's because I was friends with him before the movie, and he was way younger than me. He was like a brother, too.
I've been friends with people that I thought were hot,
Mm-hmm.
Casey.
However, she did admit that he looked hot in his 2007 Rolling Stone cover, and she said, I was like, all right, for sure. Now I understand.
Have you seen him lately? He's
Nope.
jacked up playing a wrestler. He's got to have added on like 20 pounds of muscle.
Like Greco-Roman or like WWF?
like a WWE wrestler.
Okay.
Or at that time, WWF, I guess.
She said, I think I just knew him too well and had been best friends with him for so long that it's like your brother and that you are hanging out with. So she never saw it in that particular way. And-
Look up on the screen here, Preston.
Yeah, he's bulked up quite.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's him on the right, and then after on the left.
That's not.
Oh, that's a woman. I'm sorry.
Who is that on?
I don't know. Yeah.
So Anne Hathaway doesn't think The Devil Wears Prada would work again today for one practical reason. While promoting her new film, Armageddon Time, the actress shared why she doesn't think a sequel is likely. Author Lauren Weiserberg wrote a second book called Revenge Wears Prada, The Devil Returns in 2013. And she said, I don't know if there can be a sequel movie. I just think that movie was in a different era. You know, now everything's gone so digital, and that movie centered around the concept of producing a physical thing. It's just very different now.
It ends the right way, too.
Yeah, you don't
You don't need more.
No. She continued saying,
Not unless you brought in like Sub-Zero.
she said, although it is tempting to think about Andy and Emily needing to get Miranda her coffee and she's somewhere in Europe, and then along the way they pick up Stanley Tucci in Italy who's at a restaurant. It's tempting, but I don't think it's going to happen. Hathaway did suggest rebooting the movie with a new cast. She said, but they could relaunch it. They could find new people and do it. Do you think they would let us do that? So
I think I watch it whenever it's on.
Yeah, it's
I
a great
really
movie.
love the movie.
Yeah.
And I think the ending is perfect because this cast iron woman, there are flashes of humanity, and she does something very selfless at the end of the movie that makes it pretty cool.
yeah, and also Andy's time, she went in that world.
Yep.
Her life changed a little bit and realized,
It rings true to
Better
us
than
because both you and I, at a certain point, had to get out of high fashion.
In fashion,
it was eating us alive.
it was cutthroat. So that's not us. We're better than that.
We're better than that.
To be honest. So that's why we decided to bail on it.
You're better than that.
The official trailer for Avatar: The Way of the Water was released yesterday. It showed it on the World Series last night. According to Variety, the highly anticipated sequel, which takes place more than a decade after the original film, is set to debut on December 16th.
To be honest, I don't know how they're going to milk another 2 or 3 movies out of this.
I don't either.
That was 4 total.
I looked at it and I'm like, we've already been here.
We have.
Me
We're just
personally.
underwater now.
I know.
And that's okay. And it looks pretty amazing. And I will certainly want to see it. I really enjoyed the first one.
Yep.
And it is, if you for 3D setups at home, it's kind of like the benchmark.
Yeah, but 4 sequels.
What are you going to do?
I know.
Yeah,
Well, one of them is going to be in a bowling alley.
Oh, all right.
Or
So-
skiing.
Yeah.
Like
skiing.
ski patrol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tonight we bowl.
Yeah, that's it.
Yeah.
Listen, I'm different than you guys. I am totally down with this.
I'm with you,
I hope-
Case.
Hey,
love
I
the
hope it's great.
yeah, I love
I-
the universe. When it was over, I wanted to live in Pandora. So, you guys,
I didn't. It was deadly.
Yeah.
It would be deadly to humans. You remember that?
No, listen, I'm going to see it,
Yeah.
and I hope it's great. But from on the surface, I was kind of like, that was what's so great about the original. You were like, oh my god,
Never saw this
You need
before.
to see this.
Yeah.
This is something new. But maybe they will listen. It's James Cameron. He's got the
Navi
golden,
summer vacation.
he's got the golden touch. So we'll see. Variety reports that White Lotus star Aubrey Plaza will be joining Kathryn Hahn for the WandaVision spinoff titled Agatha: Coven of Chaos, and that'll be at Disney Plus.
I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah. Hahn is reprising her role, Agatha Harkness, while details about Plaza's character are being kept quiet for now. I'm trying to remember how, I don't want to talk about the ending of a show, but how that ended for WandaVision.
There are a lot of people who make the case that Agatha was right and was trying to stop something, things in motion that played out poorly.
yes.
So We'll see how that plays out.
And then finally, according to today, Apple TV Plus dropped the trailer for Spirited on Wednesday. That is a reimagining of A Christmas Carol, and it stars Will Ferrell playing the ghost of Christmas Present, who tries to help Ryan Reynolds' character, Clint Briggs, change for the better. I had already seen some clips of that.
Yeah, this will be like the 448th remaking of A Christmas Carol.
It's a classic.
Yeah.
Scrooged. Yeah. All right, we're ready to play some clips now. A radio host takes a call where an unknown person threatens to kill his entire family on air in On the Line. And here, yes, Mel Gibson stars, and he reveals his biggest life lessons. Here we go.
I think it all starts with, like, you got to look at yourself a lot. And it's like, how do you get meaning out of this existence? And what's it all about? So it's a search in that direction. And I think the search, you might never get to the end of it, but I think the very act of searching yields some kind of good fruit.
I had 3 testicles. You're a pain in my ass. I had 3 testicles.
That's him doing his radio show?
Yeah.
Wow.
I had 3 testicles.
On the Line is in theaters tomorrow. I don't know what he was talking about.
I have no idea.
I can't get what the reference is.
It's a solid movie that kind of is a scenario similar to this. It's talk radio.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I don't know if this all takes place behind the microphone.
Yeah.
All
right.
We'll see.
Let's do the next clip. Here we go. 3 friends who witness murder become suspects themselves and uncover one of the most outrageous plots in American history in Amsterdam. In this clip, star Mike Myers talks about the toughest accent for him to pull off.
Is not what
Stop
she
it.
appears on the surface.
Seriously.
And she has a whole different agenda going on as well.
He loves that Scottish accent.
But it unfolds into something that you're maybe not quite expecting.
If you think I'm sexy.
All right, the actual clip?
Yeah,
All right, here we go.
Standard Southeast, which is educated London environs. It's very, very specific, but I enjoy the challenge. My parents had I have a thick Canadian accent. My parents had very thick Liverpool accents. And so it was very, very, accents were everything.
Shut up, dummy.
Yeah, England has very nuanced accents.
Very much so.
And they're very specific to certain locations.
Do you remember that he was hosting a version of The Gong Show where he was playing this?
Yeah, some character, right?
It was pretty dumb.
I never gave it a second.
Yeah.
I don't even remember what
Just
that
host
character
it.
was.
Yeah.
You know why I really liked him? And it's that small role in Inglourious Bastards where he plays like it's Churchill, right? Or some version of Churchill.
No, he's not playing Churchill. He's playing a military.
That's right, yeah.
Guy. He's like, it's Project Kino.
Yeah, and he's really good at different dialects and different accents, and it's a really small role, but I like him in it.
He's good in Bohemian Rhapsody as the...
oh, yeah.
To be honest, Nick, I had watched all of Inglourious Bastards and did not know that was him.
Very heavily made up.
Later on.
Did you see Garth sitting next to him?
No, man. Amsterdam is out tomorrow in theaters, by the way. That's your entertainment report. All right, we got stuff happening today, including the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame CEO, Greg Harris, joining us. The induction ceremonies are this weekend. Taran Killam from Saturday Night Live will be on, and our buddy John Brazier from the Phils, director of Fun and Games, will be on our program here in the studio today.
Okay, so apparently one of the clearest lakes that you can.
You've been looking at that the whole time. That was like a half hour ago.
Not the whole time, but I have an answer. Now, this is according to somebody who is very out in the wilderness all the
Like
time.
a swamp thing.
He says it's Falls Park, and it's in Bucks County, Steve.
Falls Park in Bucks County, clear.
It's a spring-fed quarry. He said you'll find very clear water there, and you can use your
inflatable see-through kayak.
Correct.
So does he call that the clearest body of water in the area?
He says, honestly, Falls Park is the clearest. It's a spring-fed quarry.
Well, hang on. Before you start awarding.
I just saw the look on my face.
One person's opinion, okay?
He owns Driftwood.
2 points for the cleanest water?
He owns Driftwood Water Adventures. It's stand-up paddleboard and kayaking. So he goes to several different places.
You know, Casey, I heard that Muck and Pate's Creek was really good.
I've been to Muck and Pate's, I can tell you. Ridley Creek as well is pretty.
Do you know what it does? Is supposedly they're filling in is Dutch Springs, Preston.
filling in.
Right? Wasn't that? Or that's the quarry where everyone goes to get certified.
Well, they closed it, but they're doing what now?
No, I guess they closed it, but I thought they were going to like demolition part of it, or
really?
Yeah, I haven't heard about that. I'll have to look at it. That was a shame, man. That we loved
in with M&Ms
going there, but nonetheless, Muck and Pate's. Now I'm thinking about Bucksco versus Delco.
Muck and Pate.
Which, by the way, we're thinking about reviving some form of competition at the Camp Out for Hunger next
charity.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So we will we'll hopefully have details on that
It's a
soon.
fist fight between me and Kathy.
Yes.
We're just gonna all out fight.
We're gonna dip their knuckles in glue and in broken glass and have a fight. So hopefully you'll be there for that.
Yeah.
All right, we're gonna take a break. We'll come back in a second. Make sure you stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Hey, gang, it's me.
Clothing, yes.
Okay, sartorial.
It's what she likes to eat at the food court.
Oh, okay. No. Frequently give fans a double take, generally for their stunning elegance. But some are wagging their fingers at the Duchess of Sussex for the skirt that she chose to wear on the final day of her royal tour of New Zealand, Fiji, and so on.
It was a full cooter shot.
Well,
it was up above her waist.
No, it wasn't. She paired a stunning royal blue Givenchy sweater with a sheer blue pleated skirt. So there was some see-through to it.
Well, you know what? She has.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah, I see it. But she has had a higher than they usually like the skirts worn with members of the royal family, but nothing outlandish. Whenever she's out, but she still looks elegant.
You can see the shape of her panties.
Yes. I mean, that's a little
Does
sheer.
it matter that there are sexy photos of her on the internet to the royal family, do you think? Because, when she did Suits and she did some modeling
There's a whole
stuff,
bunch of it.
Yeah.
And Nick, she had actually just done one prior to this whole...
To meeting Prince Harry.
Yes, and it's excellent.
And the whole family received a portfolio of all of this stuff and said, here's what we're dealing with.
She's a beautiful woman.
If you need me, I'm going to be reviewing these photographs in my chamber.
How long is that going to take?
Wappa. Fwap, fwap.
That's it.
The fappening.
Wappa wappa.
By the
That's
way,
the royal family version of fap.
why does this all have to rest on her shoulders? Like, why doesn't she have people looking at her going, "Yo, dude, I can see your panties"?
But she makes the final choice.
Yo, dude, I can see your panties.
By the way, Shake Shack,
Yep.
love their burgers, but I might as well eat them while I'm sitting on the toilet because that's how quickly they go through me.
Just for some particular reason?
Yeah.
There is
Do you get the special sauce?
Dude, so
He makes a special sauce.
I literally ate it one time, and I was driving home. I ate it by Helium. There's one right there.
Oh, no.
And I ate it,
Oh, no.
and I had to race. Oh my God! I'm trying to get home. I was trying to get home.
Yeah.
And it was late. It was probably like 10, 11 o'clock at night. I
can make it.
And by the time I got to about Route 1 on 76, I was like, there's no way I'm going to make it. So let me get to the radio station. Quick.
Oh.
Stat, right?
Yeah.
Got to the radio station. Couldn't make it to the fourth floor. I had to dump by it outside next to the...
Dude, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Did you take a dump?
You crapped outside of the building?
I had to.
How long ago was this?
This morning.
God.
Kathy,
I
it was either that or in my pants. What do I do?
Sometimes I don't know.
Right? So I had to do it next to the...
Couldn't you at least pick a competing station?
Yeah. Well, no,
I mean,
because
and also just so open to tell the story. It's amazing.
Oh, not right away. I had to wait a couple of years before the security footage was deleted, you know?
Hey,
Gav!
More FM's right over there.
Q102 is right down the street.
Q102's down the street. You crap there.
Oh my God.
The story does get a little bit better.
Funny.
How?
How could it?
How?
But could you have imagined had he been stopped at another radio station simply because it was an emergency?
Yes.
Right.
Local broadcaster in a clear attempt.
Like a superintendent of a school.
Right, exactly.
Right?
He would have been raised to heroic levels here.
Now, how does the story get better?
Oh, man. I think I'm just going to end it there.
Well, no. You started down the path.
Just say it quietly so we can't hear.
All right, I'll just whisper it.
They're not listening.
So,
Yeah.
So I had to
smeared it on someone's car.
I had to leave it there in the grass.
Yeah.
I couldn't take it with me.
Right.
Oh, you didn't want to take it with you?
No. I couldn't. So what
You
ended
take
up?
your dog for a walk.
So,
I left it there.
All right, so a little bit did end up in my underpants. So I had
That was just like a bingo.
So I had to luckily I had, nobody can hear this, right?
Right, no, good.
So luckily I had all these t-shirts in the back of my car.
Did you fashion a makeshift underwear?
I literally wore a pink t-shirt as underwear on the drive home. Oh, no, it gets better. Okay, so then I'm on my way home and I'm thinking, there is like t-shirts and poop and all this stuff next to the building. All right, so I can't, like, if security goes and they see that on Monday, they're gonna go, well, who pooped here?
And look at security.
They're gonna look at security and they're gonna see me, like, all ashamed, crouching next to my car. So on Monday, I came back to work with a giant trash bag and I had to like collect it all.
Oh my God.
And then throw it in the dumpster.
So he cleaned his spot.
Yeah, I cleaned my spot.
hate you.
I hate me too, Kathy. When I got home,
And this was all because of what?
freaking Shake Shack.
Oh, Shake Shack.
No, not Five Guys. Don't you? talk
They're
bad about-
fine.
Yeah, they're fine.
Where in the building was it?
On the over
By
at
the loading docks. Where you unloaded.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I had to go. What's that?
Why didn't you come inside?
He couldn't get in.
I couldn't make it. I couldn't make it. I do, believe me. I'm not. This is not a proud moment here, Kathy.
Yeah.
Though you would assume it could have been a proud moment.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm glad you came back, and that's noble.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it wasn't necessarily noble. It was self-preservation.
The last thing you wanted is that footage to end up. But what's worse, the footage of you doing it or the footage of you collecting it back up in the bag?
They watched both and they were like, okay,
Yeah,
well, he came back and cleaned.
You know, we'll erase this.
All right, so you should eat your hamburger upside down.
on the toilet.
That's what we got.
That's all. That's all I noticed. I didn't. There's
notice.
That's it. I can't top that.
No, it ends there.
I will not be able
Like
to.
a derailing train.
Right.
So nobody heard that, right?
Nobody heard that. People magazine is named its 2018 sexiest man alive.
Yeah.
And it is Idris Elba.
Oh, Kathy?
The British actor says the honor has given him a boost of self-confidence.
What do you think? Are you an Idris Elba fan?
Pull up a picture.
Okay. You don't remember?
You don't know what he looks like?
No, I do, but like, let me just look at.
Let her drink him in.
Yeah, I don't like. Is that the picture they use?
Let her take a sip of that chocolate
Yeah,
milk.
that's from people.com.
I don't love the picture that they use. I wish they used a different picture, but yeah, no, he's good looking for sure.
He was surprised after being crowned this year's winner. I was like, come on, no way, really? He told the magazine.
You guys.
He said, look. Here, there's the cover picture.
Yeah, he's kind of like he's like Lovey.
Well, like Lovey from Gilligan's Island?
No, like not where you would look at some of them and be like, oh my God, he's so hot. Like this guy's like, he probably would give you a good hug.
Part of it is his voice and his demeanor. He is planning a wedding with his fiancee Sabrina Dahor. No.
Yeah, well, I don't
Sabrina
know.
Dahor?
Dower.
Dahore?
Dahore.
Oh, you mean Dahor?
Dahor. It's all the same letters.
Who are you marrying? Sabrina. Oh, Dahor?
Dhowre.
No, not Dahor.
If you move the W to the beginning or in between the D and H, it looks like Dahor.
No, it's Dahor.
Dahor. Dahore.
No.
Anyhow, the actor has
I'm not marrying a whore.
a 16-year-old daughter named Isan and a 4-year-old son named Winston. What a great name.
Yeah, I almost
like
named my
that.
dog Winston.
From previous
Let him know.
relationships. Elba told people about his upbringing.
Yes, Idris. My name is Casey. I produce a show in the States. I almost named my dog Winston.
When you said let him know, I thought you were talking about let my dog know.
I did too. Come here, buddy.
Come here.
You're almost Winston.
Reggie, I almost named
Dog, I don't understand what you're saying.
We begin Wigapalooza.
I'm very excited.
If you just tuned in, we talked about this a while back. What would Steve look like with a head of realistic human hair and not goofy looking wigs, actual hair? We want to see what Steve would look like with a realistic looking hairstyle.
These wigs are usually fitted to people's heads, so Steve's got a bigger head. I actually thought his head was a little bit smaller than that.
Should we bring him in?
Yes.
All right, let's have Steve come in and see what the actual. Wow! Dude, oh my God! You haven't seen it? You haven't? Kathy's got to have a mirror.
Get the big mirror from The Office.
Steve.
You look better bald, man.
Casey, that does look good. You fixed the sides.
Yeah.
Do you know whose hair I immediately think of for some reason? Because
Oh, Jesus Christ.
he looks like Danny Briere's hair for some reason.
Wow.
Am I not wrong about that?
That's
Danny
absolutely right.
Briere,
Dude,
formerly of the Flyers.
No,
What? Who are you thinking
The
of? Here,
Bachelor-
move your microphone over, Steve. So I can...
from bachelor party and
Adrian
Zemed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Hey, how
It's
come
the
no
profile
sideburn?
that I love.
I guess you have to. Well, I look like a '60s pop star. Hey, everybody!
Yeah. All right. Anyhow.
This is one that's for the ladies.
Yeah.
It's what you call a panty dropper in the biz.
Yeah, Steve. We need a voice with that
That's right,
wig.
yeah.
What is that? The voice?
I need
you
it.
think,
Yeah,
or-
I think that's kind of the name.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
or kind of the voice.
The back looks good too, like
Does
the
the back look
neckline.
good?
Yeah, the neckline.
Yeah. The back looks real.
Am I making you wet, baby?
Looks totally real. Somebody says you look like Paul McCartney. Yeah.
That's right.
Yeah, absolutely. Somebody says Phil Mickelson or Ralph Macchio.
Well, a little Ralph Macchio.
A little bit.
The Karate Kid on Hard Times.
And by the way, you'll need.
Hey, Mr. Miyagi, how are you?
You'll need.
What the hell happened?
There you go. Yes, Steve's doing the dance moves. And we'll put.
I could walk you home.
Makes me feel fine.
Oh, Steve. The hair. Oh my God.
Summer breeze
Nice.
makes me feel
Oh,
fine.
you've got to watch the webcam. Steve is singing directly to you.
I thought that was beautiful, actually. I have to go pleasure myself.
Hi,
I'm
Bri-
so turned on.
All right, well, let's bring him in and see what we have next. Let's have Steve. He's been out of the studio when he gets. Okay. The color is better on this.
Yes.
I think you like.
I like the dark.
Hey, I'll help.
You look like a stock boy a little
Right,
bit.
yeah. I'll get that for you, Mr. Jones. What do you want me to do with the canoe?
Just put it in the back. Put it in the back.
I'll move that around for you, Mr. Jones. Hey, can I take lunch now?
Every wig has to have a voice.
Right, yeah. Hey, how you doing?
Wow.
My name's Toby. This is a Toby, right?
Buddy Brage is stopping in from the Phils, and Taryn Killam will be joining us. We also have the CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, Greg Harris. The induction ceremonies are this weekend. But I think we should stroll the aisles. I got some odds and ends I'd like to share with you this morning, friends. So come on in.
Head over to the local store. There's your proprietor, Preston Elliott, on the front porch waving you on in. Gives you an inappropriate pat on the butt.
I got a couple of things that have to do with the World Series, and one of them is a follow-up. Jim and Aaron, the couple that met on Broad Street after the NLCS champion, after the win. She had put him up on her shoulders. We had them on the show. They had never spoken to each other since that night.
They had DM'd.
Till they came on our radio program, and they went to the game last night together. And there are pictures of them. There are pictures of he on her shoulders again, and her on his shoulders this time.
I see why he was so eager to meet her again.
Yes, she's beautiful.
So, yeah, she's gorgeous. Yeah, we were. Casey had shown us pictures, and I commented that she's not just kind of cute.
Yeah.
She's like beautiful.
Yeah.
And he's a good-looking fella.
He is, absolutely.
And they're both really smart, too.
So apparently they got tickets through Lopez McHugh LLP, a medical malpractice firm that reached out to them, and they had tickets, and they gave them tickets.
That's awesome.
Isn't that excellent? And by the way, Jim, who, when we had spoke to him, apparently he wanted to plug his band, and he forgot to do it while he was on with us. So he's in a band, and I love this name, Pokey John.
Pokey John
is the name of the band. POKEJAWN. Like Pokemon, but Pokey John. And they're going to be playing with the band Wheatus on January 12th at World Cafe Live.
They have some jobs then.
Yeah, Teenage Dirtbag Wheatus. That's correct. Yeah, so they're going to be doing that. You can find them on Instagram at PokeyJohn. And he says more merch coming in a couple of weeks if you want to check that out. So I hope that went really well. I mean, it was not an ideal game to go to, but still the chance that they had an evening to spend talking, finding out a little bit more about each other.
It's like right out of a rom-com.
And getting some, like you said, Steve, it was a meet cute.
It was a meet cute.
For sure.
Yeah.
The way they
As
ran
opposed
into
to
each
cute
other.
meat, which is a porn that I recommend.
I think this is destined to go the difference.
It's wonderful.
Because it's such a great story to tell their kids one day. I have another fairly local story. It's in the food section. And it has to do with the World Series. So the Taco Bell steal a base, steal a taco deal. Well, there was another stolen base last night.
Yeah.
And so does that mean another free taco?
Yeah, not only that, but also at the Sixers game, somebody missed 2 free throws, so it's bricking for chicken at Chick-fil-A. So,
Okay.
there's free food all over the place.
Yeah, and so with the stolen base promotion with Taco Bell, here's how you get your free taco. You can now redeem a free nacho cheese Doritos Locos taco anytime during the 10-day period following the game. And Taco Bell's World Series free taco deal now has been activated in every series since 2015, including during Game 1 last year. So in order to redeem your free taco, you have to be signed up as a Taco Bell Rewards member.
You figure that, right?
And you need to order through the app to redeem the deal. No purchase is required. As an added bonus, anyone who correctly identified whoever stole the base, like Schwarber stole the base to initially activate this. And last night it was it Harper? Yeah, Harper got a stolen base. And so you have to identify them, and you'll be eligible for a free medium fountain drink via the app.
What's the place that offers concussion cones for the NFL?
Oh, I'm not sure who that is, but I like the idea of that. Every time there's a concussion,
you get a free ice cream cone.
Okay. And because you can end up with brain freeze.
Exactly.
Yeah.
You get to replicate and experience what they're experiencing.
Details on the promotion are available via the MLB's website. So
I like this idea.
Yeah, absolutely.
Who's the dude who's the big furniture guy? I forget his name.
Max.
Mattress Mac.
Right.
Oh man, he got into it with some Phils fans.
Sure did. You see that?
Yeah, there were some really nice moments before the game. I don't know if you saw those, and Phils fans were coming up to him, and apparently, he was taking pictures and smiling. And then after the Astros lost in Game 4, he was not in Game 3, not in a good mood.
What did you say to him to piss him off so
bad? Well, I called him an old coot.
Yeah.
And I was like,
hey, furniture whore.
You probably have bed bugs.
You old coot.
Yeah. And I never want to sleep on any of your mattresses. No, but he was yelling back. And it was one of those things where, like, Casey, I'm sure a Phillies fan was giving him a hard time and probably being a jerk. But if you're Mattress Mac, take the high road and walk the F away. Don't drop F-bombs. Don't get caught on video because it's not a good look for this guy.
Wait, hold on. What's happening? Is this the guy that bet the $10 million?
Exactly.
And so he lost $10 million last night?
No. He could still win. And but I'm sure he was getting it from some Phils fans. But before the game, he was taking pictures and smiling and having a nice time.
Yeah.
He's a big Astros fan. And
when you have that much, he's the Astros fan. Okay,
he's the Astros fan. Yeah,
he's a very charitable dude. When they had that whole ice storm out there, he allowed people to come in and sleep in the store, and so he's clearly got a good heart.
But they had a bad loss, and he was taking it to heart, and he was yelling at some Phils fans, not having a good time.
Apparently, though, whoever said something to him, apparently it wasn't that bad.
Really?
Yes.
Maybe he's just angry.
Yeah,
That's possible. Possible.
Recliners are stupid.
What's that all about? All right, here's another story, and this is in our area. This almost could have been City Beat, but I have some other stories that aren't quite Philly, so I didn't want to package it as City Beat just yet.
How about General Beat?
The closure of the Trocadero more than 3 years ago was, that kind of sucked for live music in Philadelphia.
I hated that, yeah.
The building at 1003 Arch Street in Chinatown, built in 1870.
I didn't know that.
Has sat unused since then with no apparent signs of life pointing to its future use, but it now looks like it's on track for a renovation in the years ahead.
Good.
According to documents from Pennsylvania's Redevelopment Assistance Capital Program. The state-granted program, there's a lot of jargon here, for their 2022 list of award recipients includes an entry for Northwest Arch LLC, which is a legal entity managed by Trocadero owner Joanna Pang. The RACP document shows that a $2.5 million grant has been awarded for a project to restore the venue.
So by restoring it doesn't necessarily mean that it's going to be an entertainment venue, does it? Has that been suggested?
Oh, they don't know yet.
Yeah.
But signs are pointing towards maybe it becoming
That would be
active
so
again.
good.
I
love that place. We had so many good memories for over the history of our show.
Yes.
We did the Teen Witch viewing there.
We did a few viewings there. We did Team America World Police. We did Teen Witch. We
did a Lost, didn't we?
We did Lost.
Yeah, more than once.
We
think
had
that's when,
a couple other movies.
the
We
Kill
did
Casey premiere?
We did Roadhouse there.
Roadhouse, yeah.
We did the
a
Kill
lot.
Casey premiere.
We did
yeah.
a lot of stuff there, but truth be told, it's a dump.
It was a dump.
No,
It's a total dump.
I agree,
Yeah.
but there was a charm to it that I liked. It needed an upgrade, big time.
Yeah.
But I liked that room. I liked the
Absolutely.
shape of the room, the balcony. I mean, there were some obstructed views and things like that, but there was something about that place.
It had
I
history,
liked.
and it was an old-style theater.
Yeah.
And so if they were to brush it up a little bit on the inside and sort of keep that same structure, I would love that.
It was listed on the Philadelphia Register of Historic Places in 1973. Later, it was on the National Register of Historic Places in 1978. And apparently, it was originally called the Arch Street Opera House. It was a popular venue for burlesque and vaudeville shows, as well as opera concerts, musical comedies, and striptease. After Pang's father purchased the building in the late 1970s, it became a Chinese-themed art house cinema before emerging as a premier downtown venue for rock and punk shows.
It was also briefly the home of strip opera, which was a short-lived art form.
Rock and punk shows in the 1990s, and it had a capacity of about 1,200 people when everybody was crammed in there.
Yeah, yeah.
But during its heyday, Bob Dylan, Pearl Jam, Beck, Foo Fighters, Guns N' Roses.
That's awesome.
Neil Young, Radiohead. I saw tons of shows.
I think
there.
the video for Alive for Pearl Jam.
Yes.
Half of that's at the Truck.
I
And,
think that where Eddie jumps down into
Right.
the
That's
crowd
it, yeah.
was off of the balcony
Yeah.
up there.
And
So
Kreischer did his special there, did he?
he
not?
did.
That's right, yeah.
Bert Kreischer did his special there. Yeah, exactly. So I'm happy to hear that maybe there will be life for the Trocadero down the road a bit.
Do you remember, Kathy? You remembering the Lost viewing that we did that
Yeah.
night? It was one of the pivotal episodes, and there was a problem with the
Yeah.
sound. Do you remember that?
Went
Preston?
out.
It was a season finale.
We thought we were going to be skinned alive.
And that's when, what's his name came out?
Oh, Daniel Arst.
Yes.
Doc
Roebuck.
Arst. Yeah, Daniel Roebuck. Doc Arst. Daniel Roebuck. Played
yeah.
Doc Arst. Yeah.
Yes, he was.
Daniel Arst. Remember him? We did the bunch of Sunny premieres there.
yeah.
we had the
It's Always
funeral.
Sunny.
It was you came in a coffin.
Kill Casey.
Yeah, Kill Casey.
What
Yeah.
that was. Yep.
Yeah, so and I'm trying to find some information about our friend Ned Gaudette.
Yes.
He ran
the
that
place.
joint for a lot, and he was sick, and so he had
like real sick.
yeah, like brain cancer.
Oh, my God.
Wow.
So I'm trying to find an update, and the latest update I have is from August of last year.
So anybody
there
knows
was
anything.
anybody knows anything, but there was there's a GoFundMe that looks like it's still active.
Okay.
But Ned is awesome.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's
So-
always great. Well, hopefully he's doing okay. All right. Here's another thing, and we're going to stay in Philly for this.
This could be City B.
I told you, man.
Damn
Yeah.
it.
But we're going to switch gears after
All
this one. Reading Terminal Market's long-awaited expansion onto Filbert Street has finally been completed. It creates a new public space in Center City for dining, shopping, and cultural events.
Nice. Okay.
So I think this is under that covered area.
Yeah.
In between, where did we used to do the St. Patrick's Day broadcast? The Field House?
Yes.
Yeah, and Reading Terminal Market. And there was a place you could drive through underneath there. Well, now they've made that like a space where they can have events and things.
So
like
what
that.
happens
I
to
think that's
traffic?
it. I don't know.
Yeah.
The
It just
$1.5
keeps driving through.
million project, first announced in 2019, brings 15,000 square feet of multi-purpose space to the 1100 block of Filbert on the southeast side of the market. The widened curbless space puts sidewalks and car lanes at equal height to the rest of the block. So I'm not sure exactly what that means. I don't know if, I guess, we're looking at a picture of this. There's you can't drive through there.
So they've raised the street up so that it's absolutely at sidewalk height. So there's no, you can see.
Yeah.
You see the grade up the side there?
Yeah, so you don't step down
Right.
into that area where that was once a street.
It's funny when these things happen. When I'm a pedestrian, I love it. When I'm driving through the city, I'm like,
Son of a bitch.
I got to drive all the way around an entire block.
They were delayed by COVID with the construction, and it began earlier this year, was completed this month. The grand opening event this past Tuesday morning featured performance from the Quaker City Street Band. And the project on Filbert Street involved widening the sidewalk and involving access to public transportation with more parking flexibility along the block. About 70% of visitors to Reading Terminal Market arrive by public transit.
I didn't know that.
Making easier access a priority for the new design.
So what's gonna populate this area?
So it will allow for increased dining capacity, pop-up retail kiosks, public art exhibitions, and outdoor programming curated by Reading Terminal Market. So maybe if some of the restaurants inside there are going to have an event, they can take it outside into that area.
All right.
You ever seen the historical photos of trains leaving Reading Terminal Market? Because it was like a raised platform. And so the trains that would leave from there, they would head north and west, would go up higher than the streets. It's really cool.
That's pretty wild.
Look into like Philly's historical past, and it's obviously is very different now. But it's a neat way to just see what it once looked like.
It's like that the old submarine base on Market.
Really?
Wait,
Yeah,
what?
Oh, sometimes I never know.
In addition to the market's indoor
How could
seating,
they do that?
there are now high-top tables and other seating options on the widened sidewalk. So a new little addition to Reading Terminal Market, which is pretty cool.
We learned a lot about Philadelphia in the market today.
Now we're leaving Philadelphia.
Bye.
So an anonymous vet, meaning a veterinarian, took to Reddit for a strange request. And the request is, stop naming your dog Luna.
Okay.
He said, on Sunday, I had 5 Lunas in for an appointment, and it was absurd. He said the popular name even causes confusion as he's not always sure which animal his staff is referring to. How about a return to the classics? Scruffy, Spot, Barkley, I don't care, is what he said. Some users felt personally called out and admitted that they use the popular moniker for their pets. One commenter said, my boyfriend and I both named our respective pets Luna before it was this popular, and now I am embarrassed to tell people my dog's name. I had no idea that
I don't
Luna
really
was
know any Lunas.
popular pet name.
Yeah, neither did I.
I don't either.
No.
I met a dog the other day named Dog. I was like, that's great. I'm so glad that you named your dog Dog.
D-O-G or D-A-W-G?
No, it is just D-O-G, Dog. Yeah.
Not D-A-W-G?
Right, yeah. I've seen that sometimes.
That's cool, too.
Preston, you said the word vet, and the other night there was a guest on Wheel of Fortune, and Pat introduced him as a Marine vet. And I was like, oh, this guy works with dolphins. He was a Marine.
Oh, for a moment.
Like, in my head, I'm like, oh. I was like, oh, that's pretty neat. I wonder what kind of animals. I felt like such a moron.
He must work on blowfish.
And then Pat Sajak was like, thank you for your service. And I was like, I am an idiot.
yeah.
I'm a stone cold moron.
You know, Pat himself is a vet.
Is he really?
Yes.
I did not know that.
What kind of animals does he work on?
He works on primarily beluga. No, he was in Vietnam.
Okay. You know
He was a tunnel rat.
do you know anything about Lunas? Anybody know anybody?
I had no
Pet named Luna?
Lunas.
No,
Yeah.
I had no idea that was apparently. I wonder if some of that came from Harry Potter, Nick.
Yeah, probably.
Luna Lovegood.
Yeah.
That may be it.
Yeah, there were a lot of Potter-based names for animals. And by the way, Steve, Pat was a disc jockey. He worked on the same show as Adrian Cronauer for Good Morning Vietnam.
There you go. How about that?
So he was in Vietnam. He was doing radio.
Yeah, he was a U.S. Army disc jockey.
Okay, nice. All right, what else do we have here? A study published in Scientific Reports connects nose picking with dementia risk. Sorry, Case.
Yeah.
The research was performed. Hey, listen, I pick my nose a lot too. So the research,
You can counter the effects though if you eat it.
which was performed on mice,
God,
I can't even.
It is like when I see a little kid do it, I'm like, ugh, oh my God.
You know me and snot. That's my kryptonite.
I just never understood it. Even as a child
Yeah.
myself, I just don't get it.
So the research, which was performed on mice, suggested nose picking allows bacteria to reach the brain easier through the olfactory canal.
How does a mouse pick its nose?
I guess they had to train them in order to pick their noses regularly.
When they're not training them to smoke and drink.
So apparently, according to the professor, James St. John, who was the head of this, said, we're the first to show that chlamydia pneumoniae can go directly up the nose and into the brain, where it can set off pathologies that look like Alzheimer's disease.
Pneumoniae?
He said, while we saw this happen in a mouse model, And
Well, that must be very pretty.
the evidence is potentially scary for humans as well. So picking your nose, which
connection.
Casey was doing right now.
I'm doing it to be ironic.
Are you really?
I don't know.
That would stand to reason if your hands are dirty or you're introducing germs and things.
But I had always
your
heard
nasal passages.
I had always heard the opposite, though, not about Alzheimer's disease, but that introducing yourself to, as I grab my nose, to bacteria and things like that helps your immune system
to fight it off and get more strong. I don't know.
Yeah, that's what
but this is a different thing. This is Alzheimer's, so that I don't know.
But I was always told that if you pick your nose, your brain could cave in.
Right?
Yeah.
That didn't scare you off.
No.
However, if you pick your ass, it can cure acne, which is
I didn't know
weird
that either.
road. Yeah,
that's a long road.
It's a long road.
Yeah,
it's a long.
Your butt up to your face.
It's a long
over the past couple of months about the that triangle area of your face, which is apparently you don't pop pimples when they're in that area.
Yeah.
Well, that would be it's like the nose area.
The
so
nasal,
the picking would
same
probably
area.
be the
Yeah,
same.
yeah.
That makes sense.
And contributing to Alzheimer's.
Yeah.
I'm still going to do it.
Strange. All right, here's another thing in the store. Let me walk down the aisle. We're going to go to the music section, the music and clothing section.
Oh, I love this. Is my favorite, music and clothing.
There's a new Grateful Dead collab that just dropped.
Oh, cool.
Working with the sustainable brand Pact, known for their underwear and athleisure wear. The band has released a handful of Deadhead-approved tees, leggings, and more. And there's a subtle amount of tie-dye included in this.
Is all this Grateful Dead stuff in conjunction with the movie that's being made about them?
Probably not. No.
I don't think so. I don't think this is.
All right.
Colorado-based company has promised to use source sustainable materials, partners with fair trade factories, and offsets their carbon footprint from what they call seed to tea. And so they are, and this speaks to the Grateful Dead.
Is that like Bunch of Mouth?
To the actual ATM, ass to mouth.
Yeah.
But so it speaks to the band, and that's why they've partnered with them.
Okay, yeah. Obviously, all the logos are on the clothing.
A suitable tie-dye look for the fan who doesn't need all eyes on them. The Wharf Rat tee is made of GOTS certified organic cotton and comes in all sizes from small to extra large. The style is also available as a cute little muscle tank as well.
Oh
I wonder what they're charging for this stuff.
Yeah, right?
It's not bad. It's like
$38.
Yeah.
That's what that costs.
For a
wait,
t-shirt?
I'm sorry. Hang on.
the leggings
Yeah.
are $38. The t-shirts are $58.
Okay.
Men's t-shirts.
I think leggings need to come back.
By the way, Grateful Dead bolt leggings made with 92% organic cotton are deadhead chic without making it a whole thing.
Yeah, you don't want it to be a whole thing.
And at $38, this purchase won't have a huge ripple effect on your wallet.
That ripple.
The leggings also come in gray with tiny little peace sign details.
Just a touch of gray, or
Just a touch of gray. That is correct. Then you have the Grateful Dead X Packed Tank. It says the Fillmore tank is made from organic cotton and is also available as a tee. That's $48. Then you have the Grateful Dead underwear. Super cute, made from cotton. Perfect for letting life precede you at your own design.
Are you guys going to get super cute underwear?
Absolutely.
I love super cute
I really
underwear.
I love to feel frilly. I love to feel girly.
So that's you can get a pack, and I'm not sure how many come in. It looks like four. It's $58.
I'll tell you what.
That's actually not a bad deal. Underwear is freaking expensive.
It
man.
is. Like
Yeah.
good quality underwear.
Yep. Like I now wear Tommy John underwear. Stuff ain't cheap, but I needs good underwear. Man.
Yeah. I needs it from my boys.
Yeah.
yeah,
I'm impressed by this line.
You are or
No,
not?
I'm not. It's like it's blah. It's
Well,
very-
what musical,
no, not, I mean,
musician-inspired underwear would you wear proudly?
No, it's not that. Even like some of the Grateful Dead stuff can be nice,
Yeah.
but this is just very, I don't know, it's very blah to me. All of
Kathy
it.
needs a pair of Five-Finger Death Punch panties.
Yes, absolutely.
Grateful Dead, they also
Falcon Punch.
The Packed Simple Tee. It says, look, sometimes it's just nice to have a basic tee.
Oh, my God, yeah.
That has a hint of something cool as opposed to a, shall we say, Lithuanian basketball Olympic-style Grateful Dead T-shirt, which is
remember
also
those.
awesome.
Yeah, I forget what that connection was, but somebody on the Lithuanian Olympic team was a big Deadhead, and then the band got behind that. This was maybe 92.
Really?
Yeah, Dream Team era.
Okay.
So like when the Dream Team happened for the Americans, the Lithuanians had a good team, and Bill Russell, not Bill Russell, Bill
Walton.
Bill Walton, thank you. He's a huge Deadhead, and so like there was a basketball connection there. But and then the Lithuanian basketball Dead shirts were popular for like a summer, and they were very loud and
I don't remember
obnoxious.
that, yeah.
I think it was 92, Steve.
I'm loving the baseball playoffs on. First it was FS1, and now it's on Fox. So there's a guy I know named Jake Jolly or Joliet. He's an audio producer for Fox Sports, and he plays a whole bunch of like Dead and Fish as they're going into commercials.
Oh, that's where, yeah.
So I thought it was this guy, but as it turns out, it's this other guy named Joe Carp, who is so like I keep getting text messages throughout the entire playoffs because they're playing Shakedown Street and
Did they do First Tube the other night?
They did a whole montage of like the home runs to our traffic music.
That's
pretty wild.
That traffic that you hear.
Yep.
That we play quite a bit. Well, okay. That is cool.
Yeah.
So the Grateful Dead, are you going to play that?
Yeah, why not?
All right, play just a little bit to remind you of what that is. Yep. Oh, that's the live version.
This is the Sonic Session version, yeah.
Oops. That was a good one.
It was a good one.
All right. I got something else here. I think I got one more item I can share with you before we close up.
Sharing
shop
is
today.
caring.
So if you happen to be going to the to Qatar for the World Cup,
I am.
Well, I got to make sure you're up to date on the nation's laws regarding alcohol.
Please.
Yes. Bringing alcohol into Qatar, which is how you pronounce it, right?
Yes,
Not Qatar,
that's what I've
Qatar,
heard. Yeah.
is illegal, and it is an offense to drink or be drunk in public. Drinking in public could result in a 6-month prison sentence.
All right.
And an $825 fine.
Now, my duffel bag is full of Coke. Will that be an issue?
That's fine.
Okay.
So this is going to be an entire World Cup without any alcohol?
Well, no, not necessarily. During the World Cup, fans 21 and over will be able to buy alcohol from licensed hotel restaurants, bars, and designated areas in and around stadiums. However, you won't be able to drink a beer while watching the game. Consuming alcohol inside the stadium during matches will not be allowed unless you're in a hospitality box.
Wow.
But isn't that normally how it goes? Not here in the United States, but in other countries. I don't think they drink at these matches.
No.
Well,
do they not?
It
Is
depends
that
on
true?
what countries you're in, right?
Yeah, but I think we are the anomaly. I think we're the only ones that serve alcohol.
Like in
Because-
England, you can't buy alcohol?
Yeah, I don't think,
really?
I don't think that you can buy alcohol at the actual game.
So, like,
good question.
I
I didn't even put that together. Is that possible? They'll come to think of it.
You're going to have to dig up info on that, Kath, because I don't.
I remember when we were over there.
You were so good with the clearest water, we have to put you to task on this.
When we were in England?
Yes.
Okay, but it might be different in France and Italy and Germany and
Wow, there's been an alcohol consumption ban in British football stadiums, soccer stadiums for nearly 40 years.
Wow.
Is it because of the hooligans?
Yeah, that's exactly why.
I would imagine, right? Because they have gotten out of control.
So that's why, like with Wrexham, the pub right outside the gate is the most important because that they've been waiting. I didn't, man. That's wild. That's almost a completely alien concept.
Listen, man. I was at the Eagles game on Sunday, and just sometimes it's just a little too much. You know what I mean?
Oh,
like,
yeah.
I'm like dead sober, and people aren't nice, and I'm just talking about and
it brings out the a-hole.
It can turn some people evil.
Yeah.
It absolutely can do that, without question. I've seen it happen many times throughout the years.
Yeah.
It's not everybody, but
there were
I know what you're saying.
people behind me having a conversation with the guy next to me, and I just turned around. I was being affable and nice, and apparently I was not allowed to be a part of that conversation.
This is a pretty loaded and general question, but do you think it's gotten worse?
I feel like there's this weird mentality that people feel like they have to be like these
drunken idiots.
These musclehead, tough guys.
When you said you weren't, they made it clear you weren't to be a part of the conversation.
It was like basically.
It intermatches with the Kunta Kinte.
Well, what was the last one? What should that have been? That was the Danny?
The Danny or the Ricky.
The Ricky.
I like the Ricky.
That was Ricky. With a song for you.
No, it's
Toby.
Toby. Hey,
Yeah.
Toby.
Hey, you need any yard work? You need help? Don, I'll do it. I'm 17.
Should we do a new wig next?
Yes, dude.
Yeah, we only have
Dr. Wig.
We only have 2 more left. Let's bring him in. Let's see Steve's third wig of the morning.
Is the best one.
Yeah. Steve, and that's real hair. What's that?
A little bit of gray.
Just a little salt and pepper in there.
Yeah.
That looks good.
I think he looks like either
I think I'm ready for the boardroom and the bedroom.
I think Richard Gere, maybe.
She gave me 3 options: Richard Gere, Regis Philbin, and Eddie Munster.
What?
With the 3 hair.
Well, the one style we had going at first, he looked a little like Eddie Munster.
It's all sewn
Do I
in.
look like in the Cialis commercial? I say the man with the plan.
Yeah.
Yeah. You do look like the man with the plan.
Yeah, putting some more wind in my sails with Cialis.
Oh, is this the voice?
Yeah.
What's
Kids, we're gonna go mountain climbing and rappelling. And I can get aroused too.
What's a good name for this hair? First thing that comes to your mind.
Chet.
Yeah, that's good. I like that.
Chet Wainwright.
All right.
Dr. Chet Wainwright?
Dr. Chet Wainwright.
PhD.
Yeah.
What are you a doctor at?
Not DDS?
Gynecologist.
Of course. It
The
would be
ladies
anything
are
else.
stacked too deep
All
out
right,
there.
now put the headphones on, and we'll see if this because
Radio chat.
Steve doesn't have sideburns.
I have
and
no
so that's
sideburns,
the one thing
no
that looks a little
eyebrows.
odd.
What happened was that they extracted me from the pod in the Matrix too quickly, and I hadn't fully formed.
I like this the
Put your
best.
headphones on.
All right.
Let's see how this looks.
I have hair over my ears, which is weird.
That looks real,
Let me
Steve.
see. Look at me. Can you look at me?
Yeah.
Damn, dude.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wait, call.
Yeah.
Say, hey, Steve.
Hey, Steve.
Oh, wait, no. Sorry, you got to do it. Dr. Chet Wainwright.
Hey, Chet. Yeah.
Right?
Yes.
All right, do it again.
One more time, ready?
Hey, Dr. Wainwright.
Can I help you, ladies?
Oh my God!
I think we got a yeast situation.
Casey wanted me to play this music. All right, so
It's an African American wig.
Oh, are you serious?
Yeah. It's real hair.
Yeah.
It's real hair. I mean, it's just like a $1,500 wig, and this particular wig is going to a politician.
All right, somebody who's running for office.
Yeah. So it's a short crop.
Okay.
You know, it's a short crop.
All right.
Yeah, just take a look-see.
All right, Superfly, come on in. Let's take a look and see. Yeah! Yes! Oh, dude, Steve! Oh,
Out of sight.
Yeah! That looks real.
It looks pretty real. I think this looks the realest. Apparently, I would be a really good black dude.
It's a tight curl.
You know what this reminds me of, though? And see if this frames for you a little bit. Like Mr. Brady.
A little bit.
A little Mr. Brady in the latter part of the series.
Okay.
Sort of what they would call an Isro.
Yeah. No, you know what it looks like? It looks like my friend Nolan, who's Jewish.
Now, Peter, Bobby, someone broke that vase.
All right. So, other than the Brady affectation, what kind of can you need to look at yourself in the mirror?
Yeah.
Take a look and see what name, what voice, what your style is going to be.
Wesley Python. You like that?
Yes.
I love the name, Wesley Python.
My name's Wesley.
Yeah.
Wesley Python.
So are you kind of? Oh, then they're kind of like a Billy D.
I'm like a Billy D.
Okay.
I'm like a malt liquor drinking.
All right.
Wannabe.
Yeah. Smooth.
Wesley Python. Smooth.
Yeah.
I go down like my ladies.
Hang on, I want to try something else. Yo, Wesley.
Is that good?
No, he's Isaac from the Love Boat.
Yeah.
I'll do it again.
Yeah. Yo, Wesley.
With the headphones on.
Yeah, there we go.
I love
even
it.
better.
Oh, that looks good.
Hey, all you boppers out there.
Oh, that's beautiful.
All right.
Wigapalooza on the Preston Steve Show.
From Funkadelic. Wesley Python with you. Let's get the funk on.
Hey, Wesley, do you have a favorite?
Hey, if you want to hear the song, send me a fax.
Do you have a favorite
that'd
so
be
far?
a self-addressed stamped envelope,
Yeah.
probably.
Send a self-addressed stamped envelope, and I'll try to get it on for you in 3 weeks when it arrives.
Do you have a favorite so far?
Was that, little man?
Do you have a favorite wig so far?
Let me see. I'm kind of like, for the one that looks the most real, this one.
Yeah, right.
And the last one. They're both the ones made with human hair. The synthetics, I don't know, man. I'm not feeling it.
I'm thinking the Chet was my favorite.
Chet,
The Chet was good.
I'm the man with the plan.
The last birthday I saw is an actor named Adam Devine. And
Yes.
he was in Pitch Perfect. So,
Yeah.
Casey, I'm sure you got something queued up. Is him singing?
No, this is actually Ben Platt singing. He took over for Adam Devine because Adam left the band to go be a backup singer for John Mayer, if you recall, in that particular movie.
Okay, so this is the end of the movie, and they do that song Magic.
Yeah.
You love this version of it.
Oh my God, dude!
that's why
I
we're
get
playing
so welled up.
Do it. Play it. I want to see you cry. He went on. He also had a role on Modern Family for a while.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. I like him. He's good.
He's very funny.
Good, cool, comedic actor. He was also in a movie that I like a lot, The Intern.
Yep.
And he was in Why Him. He's been in a whole bunch of stuff. So here we go.
All of it, man. Like, it just builds to a crescendo, and these guys, and then the Barton Bellas, and I just get so happy.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
There's also a scene in Madagascar 3
Oh my God.
where I think it's the hippo.
That's when the series hits its stride.
Oh my God! When the hippo comes out and like, because they're working towards this big show, this big circus, and then the hippo comes out and Firework is playing from Katy Perry,
Right.
and I got so happy that I started crying.
Listen, it's very impactful. I think even Gene Simmons got a little teary-eyed. when
That
that-
hippo makes the appearance in Madagascar 3. You need to understand it's the culmination of everything. This very large creature you would not think would be so adroit on the stage wows everyone, including a group of meerkats.
Even kind of, stone-hearted Gene Simmons crumbled to that.
Melted this icy heart. My face, I was smiling so hard, my surgically reattached face slid off my skull.
Oh my
There's another crescendo.
There's an incredible scene where a platypus sings, I was made for loving you.
What were you going to say?
I can't read. Well, I just know it's at the end of the new Muppets movie that has Jason Segel in it.
Right.
Because they're doing this like telethon to save this theater. Something, is it the chickens? I don't know.
Happening?
Of course, the famous chicken scene.
I get so happy. Yes, they're doing the Gnarls Barkley song.
Oh.
It's F.U.?
Yes.
Okay. When they do that again, I'm so happy that I start crying. I don't know why.
It's just the way of
I
it.
cry out of happiness sometimes. Back to you, Preston.
From this made you cry? That one did?
I was so, I don't know. Maybe I was
Do you want to
so,
bawl like a little girl?
Yeah.
You want to see a chipmunk sing Gnarls Barkley? Now that's incredible.
It's just a crescendo, and when it gets to that part, I don't know why I'm.
You
so
like
happy.
those? You like
I
those?
Love it.
Tug at the heartstrings.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, how about at the end of Coco, where he's singing the song to the grandmother, Coco? That one puts me in absolute tears. Now, it's a little different than a chicken singing Gnarls.
You gotta understand, it's a crescendo that builds to that, right?
Okay.
It's there's a whole like sequence, and then it gets to the chicken singing.
Okay, I'm sorry. We have it on the video screen. Now that I see it, yes, wow, what a tearful moment.
Those incredibly talented chickens.
Well, the holiday season begins in earnest when Oprah Winfrey's annual list of favorite things arrives, showing America all of the wonderful things we probably can't afford this season.
Do you remember how huge this used to be when she would have that episode?
Yeah. And by the way,
in fact, our favorite things when we first did the Christmas Miracle, that's what it was based on.
Yeah.
The original name was Things That Make Us Explode in Our Pants.
That's correct. By the way, Kathy's holiday activities list will be coming sometime soon, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much ready. Marissa and I were talking about yesterday.
We're waiting on some musical accompaniment for that, so it's on the way.
Strange
My God, that was sexy the way she said that.
Ew, really? Don't ever say that.
But you went, yeah.
That's how I feel about holiday
I know.
activities.
That's what turns you on.
She bites her lower lip
no,
like Kristen Stewart.
Yeah.
Activities.
So
Floral and Hardy.
And she followed that up with, ew, don't ever say that.
Because it came from you. That's weird.
I know. And on Wednesday,
Oh my God, I'm so moist. Winter activities. This year including Hanukkah and Ramadan.
All right, and on Wednesday, even the 64-year-old admits that the list has gotten a wee bit out of hand in recent years. She said, these days, choosing my favorite things makes me a little cuckoo. What started as an organic extension of wanting to treat people to some of the things I truly love has turned into an annual list that takes a team to curate. I then go through every item, picking my favorites and narrowing the selection to my own. It's a process, but because it's important to me to remain as true to my original inspiration as possible. My guideline, do I really like it enough to want to receive it myself? So that's how she decides what's going to be on here.
Look at the judgment parameters. She's a multi. What is she, a billionaire now at this point?
Yeah. But she still likes fun stuff.
Yeah.
You know, little
Maseratis.
Yeah, little Maseratis you can play with. Perhaps the most infantile is a onesie sweatsuit for adults, dubbed the jumpsuit. In L.A., relax.
I already have one.
Onesie, we're running $168.
I have one that has Michael Dukakis' picture on it.
Yes. Like a onesie for grown-ups, this jumpsuit is a pleasure to wear on a long trip because you can curl up in it and still look fresh when you get where you're going. The stripe down the leg sure does slenderize as well, she says.
Hey, have you seen anything that's this year's Snuggie? You remember like a couple of Christmas seasons ago?
I have. Did you see it's like an oversized hoodie sweatshirt?
No, I have not seen it.
That you can kind of like snuggle into.
So like you can pull it all the way up over you
All
and
right,
everything?
so you know how like you and I don't do things like this, or like guys, we don't like cuddle up on the couch and crawl up into like a little ball, right? and sit up straight. So it's meant for girls
Who bend their
that.
knees, and I know.
Yeah, who bend their knees.
So pull the
Yeah.
end of it down over like a full blanket. I
Yeah.
got you.
Yeah, like kind of put the legs
I
over
do.
to the side.
I sit
Yes.
like
Yeah.
this with like
Yeah, it's called a huggle. Is that what it's called? Yeah, there it is.
The Huggle hoodie.
Huggle hoodie.
Case, go do it on our couch.
I can. I'm not flexible enough to do
Yeah,
that.
I can't bend my knees up like that. I do pull my arms into my shirt from time to time, though.
Yeah, you do in meetings sometimes too.
Yeah.
What
if
I
I'm cold.
found out on
There are a couple things. The hand tuck under the thighs as you're sitting there.
Yep.
I like to build a pillow wall along my sides to keep airflow at a minimum.
Right.
And when you really want to get in cozy mode.
Yeah.
So that way I can sit down and fall asleep during the shows I'm watching.
Yeah, right, exactly. Case, this looks like a good idea for like maybe 3 minutes, and then I just start to sweat and like
Yes.
would not be able to get out of it.
I'm stuck.
I'm dying in here.
Bend my legs. I'm stuck.
Kathy's like got
I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Holy Jesus! I need water.
Start having a panic attack.
Yes.
Yes.
I love when you go. I can't breathe. I can't breathe.
Can't breathe.
So those are Oprah's, some of her favorite things
That's
this
cool.
year.
Okay.
What about the $1 billion? Is that one of her
Yeah.
favorite things?
Please welcome the one and only Mr. Mickey Hart.
All right. Okay. Wow. I love the way you did that.
Well, thank you. I love the way you're
That was really great. You had rhythm. You had rhythm.
See?
Thank you.
You know,
Who could ask for anything more?
let's get right into that. I love that you love rhythm so much.
WMMR.
All right, let's do this right now.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by the iconic Lorenzo and Sons Pizza, Philadelphia staple, locations in Westchester, in Xfinity Live, and in Live Casino and Hotel Philadelphia. You can visit lorenzoswestchester.com. Animal lovers who signed up for a special overnight stay at Sydney, Australia's Taronga Zoo ended up with a closer encounter than they bargained for after 5 African lions escaped.
Uh-oh.
After watching the sunset over Sydney's historic harbor, the guests attending the Roar and Snore experience at Taronga Zoo lay down in their safari-style tents, lulled to sleep by the sounds of the nearby animals.
They sound so close.
Shortly after dawn on Wednesday, however, they were awakened urgently by zoo staff who rushed them away. One guest, Magnus Perry, said they came running into the tent area saying, "This is a code 1. Get out of your tent and run.
Run!
Come now and leave your belongings behind."
That doesn't happen on the Matterhorn.
Magnus said they opened the door to the building. Everyone got in. They counted us, and they locked the door. At first, the guests thought it was drill, but they soon realized something more serious was amiss.
How do all those animals get out?
Video footage shows Atto, the adult male, and 4 of his 1-year-old cubs escaped into an area next to the main exhibit. While they had breached one fence, they remained separated from the rest of the zoo by a second fence that the zoo described as a containment fence for people and a safe barrier. That fence is 6 feet tall, although some lions have been known to jump to a height of more than 11 feet. Fortunately for the zoo staff and visitors, 4 of the 5 lions calmly made their way back to their dens, while the remaining cub was safely tranquilized and returned to the den. An initial investigation found that an integrity issue with a containment fence was to blame, and the animals were moved to a secure holding area pending a full review.
Didn't you have a story yesterday with a very venomous snake escaping from a...
Yeah, I actually have another one, which I'll get to, another venomous snake escape story.
It's wonderful.
But how about this? Professional cornhole has been rocked by controversy after the top-ranked team was accused of using illegal bean bags at the 2022 American Cornhole League World Championship in August.
Kathy and I were just at a cornhole. It was auto lenders, right? And we didn't realize how specific these people get about this.
Dubbed Baggate, the now infamous incident began when player Devin Harbaugh had complained that rival opponents Mark Richards and Philip Lopez were using bags that were smaller than regulation during the finals, which were broadcast live on ESPN from Rock Hill, South Carolina.
Wait, let me see your bag.
Harbaugh said, "I thought the bags were too thin," and he was right. Officials gathered to inspect Richard and Lopez's bean bags and confirmed that they were, in fact, not regulation size. In response, Lopez and Richards requested that their opponents' bags also be inspected. Their bags were also found to be not compliant. So everyone.
Yeah.
But according to ACL regulations, cornhole bags must be 6 by 6 inches when laid flat and weigh 16 ounces with minor variations tolerated. 1 hour delay ensued before officials determined that the violations were not intentional and decided to continue the competition with a $15,000 cash prize. So according to a spokesperson regarding the allegations, he said, it's possible, but I'm pretty confident that it was not intentional. So nobody was actually cheating. It was an almost cheating scandal. But apparently the beans or the whatever those things are inside there were smaller than the regular size.
They get very picky.
With such a major expansion of influx of money, players have been doing whatever they can to get a leg up in the competition, including doctoring their bags. Lighter and thinner bags can be advantageous, and players have been boiling their bags or washing them with vinegar to make them more pliable as well.
I would never boil my bags.
A man in China is keeping his 219 million yuan lotto jackpot, which is approximately $30 million.
Oh, nice.
He's been keeping it a secret from his wife and child. The reason behind that is he claims he's worried that the winnings will make his family lazy. Identified by local press only by his pseudonym Lee, he apparently wore a yellow cartoon character suit and picked up his grand prize at the Lottery Distribution Center in Nanning City. So he came in costume.
Hasn't told anybody.
No one would know who he was. Yep. And he's going to keep it a secret. A woman was caught on video taking a home's entire candy supply for herself Halloween night while in costume. Yep. YouTube streamer Andy Signor, host of Popcorn Planet.
We've had him on our show.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Well, he was out trick-or-treating with his family when he saw what happened on the doorbell's app. He said, I caught it happening live, and I was shocked. He said, I expected some teens to be greedy, but I couldn't believe an adult woman would take it all. The video showed the woman dressed in what appears to be a barmaid costume empty both candy buckets into her own bucket. He said, she dressed up, walked on my lawn, seems to do it with intent. It was super mean. Who needs that much candy that badly? Signor uploaded the video to his Twitter account, and it went viral. He said that he didn't think the woman should face any criminal penalties, but he said she should apologize for taking all the candy.
It's pretty outlandish.
Make a donation to a children's charity or a school to make up for it.
She's just like a St. Pauli girl.
Yeah. All right, and then one more story, and we will wrap up. An Apple Watch has been credited with saving the life of a Seattle woman who was allegedly buried alive by her estranged husband. She was able to call police, or she was able to call for help using her wearable watch. So those reports say the woman was able to call 911 and send an emergency notification when her husband briefly let her alone during the attack just before he dragged her to the garage and broke the watch with a hammer. The Washington State woman was allegedly buried after discussing an impending divorce and money with the man. When placing the call to emergency services, the woman was heard to be gagged but was screaming for help. She later told officials that her husband was trying to harm her. She was found with duct tape still wrapped around her neck, lower face, ankles, and managed to escape. The woman's husband, 53-year-old Che Kyung-an, now faces a number of charges, including first-degree attempted murder, first-degree kidnapping, and first-degree assault.
It's a handy item to have for something like that, yeah.
That is what I have in the bizarre file. All right, we're taking a break. We're coming back in a moment. The CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame is going to be joining us, and we're going to be revealing what's coming up for food trucks and fireworks next Wednesday at Camp Out for Hunger. We'll be back in a moment.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
It's not melody and it's not harmony, but it certainly is rhythm.
You were exposed to percussive instruments and rhythm early on. Your dad was well known and well respected. And
I wouldn't go that far.
He was a musician?
He was a musician?
Okay.
I wouldn't go that far.
Oh, really? All right.
But he did dabble.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
More
And
than
then,
dabble,
and then
actually.
you were working in a you had a job and you were
I had a job once.
A jazz club
Once.
Yeah.
A long time ago. I can't remember having the last time I had a job. Just thinking,
You don't call this a job?
of the idea of having to have a job just gives me the willies. I mean, what would I do with the job? Oh my God.
You wouldn't be a 9-to-5 guy working the cubicle?
No, I doubt it. But if I had to, I would.
You would.
Yeah, but I don't have to, and I won't.
Yeah.
But so you don't view what you do as a job?
Oh no, it's a service. It's a service industry. I mean, that's what music is all about. You know, you provide a place where people can come and have an emotional moment,
right,
and and ritualize. So, yeah, I know, and I think it's very profound, and I'm very, what should I say, honored or blessed or whatever you want to call it, to happen to fall into this universe as a percussionist or a drummer. You know, to be able to do that is,
But maybe even people.
It's a good thing.
Yes. People who are maybe in the same situation as you, viewing it as a job. The fact that you don't view it as you view it the way you do.
It's not easy, but it's not like a job. It's like when I get up in the morning, the first thing I do is think of, the new day and what kind of new rhythms there are in it and how I can interpret that. And that's what musicians do. They interpret, society and whatever you've seen or whatever it is, and they lay down that groove. And every 5-10 years you find a new groove, and you work at it. Yeah, you do work at it, but you work at play. You work to play.
Sure.
You have to keep your skill up. I play every day 2-3 hours.
Do you?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Are you kidding? Absolutely. In order to get up there and do what I do.
Yeah.
I mean, it's an athletic event. It's not like lounge drumming and stuff. This is the power stuff.
Well, speaking of reinventing and finding new grooves, I want to ask you about John Mayer, because he's been with the band and touring with you guys for a stretch now, and I think a lot of people initially dismissed him as poppy and not the really great, incredible guitarist that he is. And from my perspective, he seems like the perfect fit for the Dead, because he holds you guys in reverence, but he can also hold his own. What are your impressions on John?
John's a sharpshooter.
Yeah.
He's a gunslinger, as it were. And his guitar, he's beautiful. He plays great. He fits perfectly in the band, and he's a nice guy. I mean, I know he has this reputation and all that stuff, but I've never had a moment of weirdness with him. He's just a very pleasant person to be around, and he plays his ass off.
Before he was a star, he played in the conference room down the hall in these offices. And I went to see his show that night, and one of his strings broke during the performance. He tuned the guitar to itself and kept it. He didn't miss a beat. And right then, I knew this guy had it, and I was so impressed by his ability.
I'll tell you when I knew he had it was one day when he was just joined the band. I had gotten him into this droning things, feeding back, getting a little crazy. And so during the drums and bass part, he got down on his knee and he put the guitar into the speaker and he started feeding back. And I was looking at him and I was saying, oh, okay. So I walked around to the front of the speakers, sat down right next to him, and I had on one hand I had what do you call it, lighter fluid.
Yeah.
And the other hand I had a Bic.
Okay.
And so he looked at me, I looked at him, and I went like that. And for a minute, I thought he was
going to do it.
And then so he took it. He did take it while he was feeding back, and he put the he put the Bic on his amplifier, and he took the lighter fluid and used it as a slide. And so he played slides without lighter
go
fluid.
full Hendrix on you.
And I said, John, you were going to do it, weren't you? And he said, I was really thinking about it, but the guy who makes my guitar is in the audience. I couldn't do it. He almost lit his guitar on fire, so I knew right then he was okay.
Wow. I was wondering if you had watched the Grateful Dead documentary that was on Amazon, and what your thoughts are.
No.
It was very, very in depth.
Oh God, it was just awful. I just did not like it.
You didn't care for it.
It was just a one-sided affair. It was not for me, and it really didn't show the Grateful Dead in its totality. It was more like a Jerry, whatever that is, memorial thing or whatever. He was trying to do, but it wasn't really. It didn't have the heart of the Grateful Dead.
Okay.
That's for sure.
There's been a lot done about it.
They made me watch. I watched it once.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Just to say I didn't like it. But that's it. I didn't see it at the premiere. Me and Bob and Bill, we went out and had dinner.
Yeah.
While they showed the movie.
That's funny.
We came back right at the end when they all started. And we go, okay.
Thank you.
I wanted to ask you about some of the things that you do like. I was listening to the concert in Paris, 1974, this morning.
Yeah.
What was it besides the United States? What was your favorite country to play in?
Oh, Jesus, that's a good question. I think that I can't answer that question because they're all good when you play good. You know, every country is the same.
Yeah.
If the music is played well and we have a great time, France is great, England's great, Germany, it's all good if we play well. If we don't play well, the city sucks.
It's this place.
We blame it on the city.
Blame it on the city.
Of course. Franklin Port.
I also, as a fan, there's an ebb and flow to the way I listen to your music, and so recently I flowed back to. I guess I ebbed back to. I ebbed back to studio albums. Do you? I don't know if you ever listen to your own music.
No.
But do you have a favorite studio album?
Yeah, I would have to say it would be, it was half studio and half live. It was called Anthem of the Sun. I think it was our second record, back in 3,000 years ago.
Yeah.
And that was probably my favorite. American Beauty, Working Man's Dead. They were nice, fuzzy, warm.
See, my first album I ever bought was Mars Hotel, so I automatically go back to that one. And Unbroken Chain. And
we were never very good in the studio. We never could cage the animal in the studio.
When did you realize that? It seemed to be early on.
Yeah, well, we thought we could make, no one knew how to make a record. But I mean, we didn't know how to make anything. We were just musicians at the time, and we weren't really savvy on the studio. No one had a studio.
Right.
Now I have a studio. Everybody has a studio. So we just weren't producible. There was too much anarchy in the band. Too many people wanting to do, they had strong opinions of it. So, and we never really liked it in the studio with the four walls. It was too captivating. We were like a captive in the studio. And we never really made a great record.
You guys had a pop explosion in the late 80s when you hit with Touch of Grey and Hell in a Bucket, In the Dark. Was that fun? Was that cool? Was it neat seeing a whole bunch of people who maybe had not been turned on? You always had legions of loyal fans, but here all of a sudden, boom, you had fresh music. And the tour was gigantic. Was it fun?
Oh, yeah, it was fun, but it wasn't quite like that.
Okay.
What happened was we were already playing stadiums at the time. That was in 87.
Yeah.
So instead of playing 1 or 2 days at the stadium, we're playing 3 days at the stadium.
Yeah.
So it really didn't affect us much. We just
You guys were touring sold-out shows anyway.
We didn't feel it, which we were playing stadiums.
Yeah, but you know what? I
was
found
more
out about you guys
incremental.
because of the Touch of Grey. There was a music video. I was young at the time, so so you guys had a music video, so you were totally reaching an audience. That,
we never did the videos or anything. We never did a single. So we weren't really part of the music industry. We never played that game, and. If we lived by the single, we would die by the single. If we didn't have a hit.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
It's funny because I remember becoming aware of the Grateful Dead, through the iconic artwork that was associated with the band.
Yep.
What's that about? What's that about? So that predates, obviously, videos, but still, a visual medium brought me into the awareness of the music, which is very cool.
Exactly. It mirrored the music. In the old days, how that started was these artists would come to the shows, and we were all getting high, and psychoactive drugs, taking acid and whatever. And these were physical representations of what the music sounded like. They would go home and they would start painting, and they're still high, and that's what these things were representing. They were representing the music.
How were you vetting that, or was it just sort of, if you want to do it, or would you guys kind of consciously say, I don't like that, doesn't represent our band right, or was it just an open source?
Well, luckily in our case, the people would come up with these incredible,
iconic stuff.
Yeah. We just had to choose between the good stuff. I mean, it was so much good around. And a lot of people went home and just did it, and it was uncommissioned.
Yeah.
They just went out and said, this has to be done.
Wow.
And so then all of a sudden we looked at them, we go, that's us. And they go, okay, cool.
That's cool.
That's it.
Let me ask you with the art and your painting. I mean, did people automatically take to it? Were you afraid you were going to get the here's a musician trying to be a painter sort of deal?
I'm not afraid.
Yeah. So what was that jump like, and how well were you received initially? Because I mean, honestly, we were looking at the stuff. It's pretty amazing looking.
There it is.
Yeah. So what was that initially like?
Well, I didn't think of it as it's art. You know,
Yeah, it
just
is art,
came
yeah.
out. It's
Right.
you follow the muse. I mean, you're an artist. You know, the
Right.
thing that turns you on, makes you do things artistically. And first time I did it, I walked into the house and my daughter looked at it and he said, "You know, Dad, this got legs."
Yeah, that's pretty good.
Legs. He liked it.
Yeah.
And so if my daughter liked it, and she doesn't like much.
Does she like the dead? Does she like
that?
Okay.
So I said, okay. I'll paint. If you like it, I'll paint it.
You can take a look for yourself and see Mickey Hart's work. It's called Vibrational Expressionism Hall of Fame, which is taking place this weekend. It's always a great conversation to have with him. He is El Presidente.
He is, isn't he?
And CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Please welcome Greg Harris to our program. Greg, good to see you again, man. How you doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I'm out in LA right now, so it's real early in the morning. But I'm also I was up late watching these Phillies.
Yeah,
and,
I know. Last night, not the ideal night to spend a late nighter watching them, but it's been exciting, you know?
Oh, it's been a blast, and to have the highs of 2 games ago and then the low of last night, and, you know, we all love great pitching performances, but not when it's the other team.
Yeah, exactly. But we're holding out hope for tonight. We got another night in South Philly, so, you know, that's in our corner.
Well, think of this. The Phillies are in the World Series, and the series is tied 2-2.
Yeah.
So they're now playing a 3-game series. They got to win 2 of 3.
Yeah.
And the city will be alive. It's amazing. I hope they can do it. I'm a big fan, as you guys know.
Yeah.
I grew up in the Philadelphia area, and
it's already glorious.
Yeah.
It's always again, when you talk about the fact that it seems to have come out of nowhere, there was nobody really believing this would be the situation at this point in the season, but it is, and it's just great. The energy is just through the roof.
I know my daughter will be at the game tonight, and we're hoping they can take it home.
Yes.
In 1 game at a time, 1 inning at a time, and actually 1 hit at a time right now. Just get some hits.
I have a chance to go tonight to a first World Series ever, but someday I'd like to go to a Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction ceremony. That's on the bucket list too, man.
Well, we'll be doing it out here this Saturday night in Los Angeles. We'll be inducting this new class. It's an incredible group. And then the whole thing gets broadcast on HBO in a couple weeks. And anybody in the world can watch it once it's on HBO.
Hey, Greg, how many different locations have there been for this ceremony? Because I think it's been in Cleveland. I know it's been in New York and then L.A. recently. How many different places have you guys done this?
Yeah, this is about the, I think this is the 37th annual induction. So it's been going on for a long time. Wow. It's primarily been in New York. This is the 3rd time that it's going to be in L.A. And then we've had it in Cleveland over the last 12 years or so. We've done it 4 times in Cleveland, and we're establishing this rhythm where it's in Cleveland on a very regular basis, you know, every other year, and then one of these other markets. So we're really excited about it.
There's obviously this is a big event. It comes with so much that's attached to it, and you're talking about, you know, careers, you know, leading to this moment. And you have sort of an interesting aspect this year because you had that thing with Dolly Parton where she had removed herself from the running and then was kind of encouraged by other people saying, no, you have every right to be in it. And when she learned who some of the other inductees were, she said, oh, okay, I guess I'm back on. So where do things stand? Will Dolly be in attendance?
Well, she's inducted. She's coming into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And, yeah, you know, it gave us a chance to share with Dolly and also the world that rock and roll is an attitude. It's a spirit. It's not just one specific type of of music. And the other piece of this is rock and roll comes from the pillars, gospel, country, blues come together to make rock and roll. And in the Hall of Fame is Hank Williams, Johnny Cash, Jerry Lee Lewis, who he just lost, is in both country music and rock and roll. So it was a chance to share that story and talk about how it's a big tent, and Dolly certainly belongs.
Well, of the tendrils that stretch out from rock music, metal is certainly a strong one. Judas Priest is being inducted. I'm excited about that. Can you explain the category that they've been inducted in? I was kind of having a hard time understanding how they got in.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, they're going in, it's the musical excellence category. And whether you're elected in the general ballot or by a committee like this, you're still in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, and everybody's equal once they're in.
Okay.
This isn't a consolation prize, and it's not a different, you know, it's not a ribbon instead of a trophy. It's the same thing. And they went in for that because the committee looked at their contributions, looked at their importance, looked at their impact and their influence, and they went in through that route. That route has been used, you know, for artists in the past that just as, you know, their body of work speaks to their entire career, and the committee decides to put them in as opposed to the general vote, which the general voting ballot goes out to all the other living inductees. And that's how a lot of performers go in, but not exclusively. There have been quite a few people that have gone in for musical excellence as well.
And this year you have the most female artists being inducted. Is that correct?
We do. 6, ranging from, you know, Elizabeth Cotten, who's making music over 100 years ago, blues guitar player and songwriter that was a big part of the folk revival in the late 50s, 60s, all the way up to Annie Lennox and Pat Benatar. And Carly Simon. It's really a great group, and of course Dolly, as we mentioned.
Yeah, Carly Simon just had some tragedy. She lost both her sisters.
Yeah.
You know, so that's obviously horrible. But again, it's funny over the years, Greg, for all of and we talked about this before. There have been some artists who've been reticent to, you know, initially, you know, it doesn't matter to me. It doesn't matter to me, and then you end up getting inducted or even, you know, in the running, and it is something. It is absolutely a big thing. And I found, for example, I'm a big Dire Straits fan, and when they sort of passed on being a part of it, as a fan, I would have loved to have seen a little bit more involvement on there. Now you can play it however you want to as the artist. That's your prerogative. But I think the fans really appreciate seeing these artists that they admire embrace this. Has that been your experience?
Absolutely. You know, it's a chance. Not only are the fans able to embrace it, but it's also sometimes a chance for bands that maybe haven't been together to come together and celebrate what they created at one point in time. For instance, when Eric Clapton, Ginger Baker, and Jack Bruce got together for Cream's induction, they hadn't performed together in 24 years. And they came together and they made magic. And so those things happen. But yeah, it is about the fans. These fans have been listening. We've all been fans listening to some of these artists that mean a lot to us for decades. And we listen to them at really important moments of our life. When we're feeling down, their music lifts us up. When we're feeling great, their music helps us celebrate. And they're part of the family. So it's very exciting when they go in, they embrace it. And, you know, this year, this class is incredible. So many of these artists are still active. They're still alive, and they're still able to deliver.
As excited as I am for Judas Priest to finally be inducted, on the opposite end of the spectrum, I was so delighted to see that Duran Duran is getting in, as well as really pulling for those guys. Who on the list are you excited that's getting in? I'm sure you're excited for everybody, but does one stand out like Duran Duran to you?
You know, musically, they all stand out for me. I'm really excited. I'm excited. You know, all of them. I grew up listening to MMR in the 70s and watching MTV in the 80s.
Yeah.
So Pat Benatar, Duran, Eurythmics, Lionel, they're all part of that era. And it really feels great. I'm also, you know, I'm excited about Sylvia Robinson. She's kind of an recognized individual in the music industry, and songwriter, guitar player, performer herself, record label founder. They call her the godmother of hip hop. and a very important African American label executive as a female, which is cool. And then Elizabeth Cotton, we talked about her, but to go from Elizabeth Cotton all the way to Eminem, what a span, huh?
Yeah. It is pretty amazing. With the whole show, the presentation, the performances, and the sort of jams, who is the coordinator? Who's your musical director responsible for this year?
So, there's two really very important people with the shows, a couple, but John Sykes is the president of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame Foundation, and he's executive producer of the show. John has some Philly ties as well. Worked with Hall & Oates and others early on, was early in MTV. And then another guy named Joel Parisman, who's the president of the foundation. John is the chairman, Joel's the president. They're both the executive producers. They really do a lot with the show. And then Joel Gallen with 10th Planet. They put it together and they make it look incredible. I walked through the set yesterday as they're building it, and it's pretty staggering, especially for one evening. But the reason why it looks so terrific is it gets broadcast to the world on HBO shortly thereafter. And by the way, the broadcast date is the 16th. 16th or 19th. I'm going to double check.
I think it's on the 19th. Yeah, I've got November 19th on HBO Max. We talk about the inductees. Who are some of the presenters that are going to be highlighted? I always like seeing them.
Yeah.
Right now, we're only announcing a few. I hate to do this here.
Okay.
It's we're kind of keeping them under wraps because there's going to be some magical moments and some surprises. I look back on last year when LL Cool J got inducted in Cleveland, and people blinked, and next thing you know, Eminem was on stage performing with him, and it was powerful and incendiary. So there's we're kind of keeping a lot of under wraps right now.
All right,
that's what I think. A lot of the magic is that happens at these events is not just the presenters, but the performers, the people that come up and end up jamming with their heroes. Those are some of my favorite moments of what you guys pull off.
Oh yeah, and it's pretty neat because the combo happens where you find an artist that somebody particularly influenced and they want to be there and talk about their impact and influence. And then frequently they'll perform together. So for instance, when Bill Withers, Lean on Me, great song, and a lot of other great songs, he was inducted by Stevie Wonder.
Yeah.
And then they jammed together, and John Legend came out and sang with them. Just these matchups are really magical, and they happen on our stages. That incredible Prince guitar solo to While My Guitar Gently Weeps.
Right.
That was at an induction. He's on stage with Tom Petty.
Yeah.
Steve Winwood's off to the side. It's like these are magical moments, and it's an honor to get to be part of them, but also to have them broadcast to the world too.
Very cool.
So this weekend, Saturday is when it's taking place in Los Angeles, but then we'll be able to see that on November 19th on HBO Max. So we'll be watching, Greg. Always great to talk to you. And we're pulling for your fills, all right, man?
Hey, you know what? They don't need to win. They can't win it at home. It's okay to win it in Houston, but let's win it.
You got it. All right, thank you. Greg Harris, guys. President and CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. He's great. We got to get out there someday. Maybe do a live broadcast. I know that Pierre's done it before and just loved it.
They keep inviting.
Yeah.
We got to do it.
Yep. Hey, a couple things to mention. I'm going to reveal the info on our food trucks and fireworks in a moment, but I do want to point something out. Another food-related guest who is going to be stopping by the Camp Out for Hunger on Monday morning is Robert Irvine.
Hey!
So Robert is stopping by. We're doing our Y100 reunion because it's our 25th anniversary at the Camp Out for Hunger. This began at that radio station, so we're going to have staff members of our old radio station stopping by. But Robert Irvine is coming that morning as well, and I want to give a plug to an event that he's doing this Friday. He is going to be at the he's going to be at Fine Wine and Good Spirits in Lansdale this Friday from 4 p.m. I'm sorry, and he's going to be doing a bottle signing for Irvine Spirits.
Oh.
Which is pretty awesome. So proceeds from the sale of his vodka and gin will benefit the Robert Irvine Foundation. It gives back to service members, veterans, and first responders. So if you want to come out and see Robert this Friday, 4 p.m., he will be at Fine Wine and Good Spirits in Lansdale, and that's on Welsh Road. So I want to get a little plug to that.
Nice.
And Robert's just a great guy. I got an email from somebody not that long ago who ran into him in in Las Vegas at his restaurant and just took her back into the kitchen, had her make her own pizza and stuff like that. It was and he had mentioned us, or she had mentioned us to Robert. And he's like, yeah, come on back. Oh, yeah, we'll do all this stuff.
That's really
cool. He's the best.
I went to Boardroom Spirits a month or so ago. I had a great time, and Robert's face is all over there because he's one of the production guys behind Boardroom Spirits. And we got 2 6-packs of the margarita mix that they make, the margaritas, which are really, really good, canned margaritas. So we've taken these canned margaritas, my girlfriend and I, to the ballpark for every home game that we've gone to, and they have won all of those games. Well, we ran out.
What?
So what? Steve, yesterday, my girlfriend DM'd the good people at Boardroom. They said, we will deliver it to you by tomorrow.
Oh, my God.
So we ordered yesterday. We're going to get and so I wanted to tell Robert about this when he comes to camp out next week. But they couldn't have been cooler. They could have been nicer. And
Mel's freaking out.
I know, but we're going to have some of the Boardroom margaritas tomorrow. And it's all thanks to Robert Irvine and Boardroom Spirits because they're great people.
Oh, he's happy now.
And really good margaritas. Yeah. So I'm psyched that they were able to deliver them from yesterday to today.
Excellent.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. Did you see the thing? Did you hear them talking on the game last night that it was Reese Hoskins' wife?
She keeps doing this.
Is buying 50 beers for people in her section in the 5th inning at every game.
And it's kind of like a cryptic tweet. She'll tweet out something, and then you kind of have to go find her in the ballpark. But yeah, she's just buying beers for everybody.
I was doing the math. That ain't cheap.
No, it's not.
50 beers at the ballpark?
No,
how much?
it is
How
not.
much are beers? $12?
I think probably.
I mean, I paid $40 for 2 of the big ones the other night for me and my dad.
So she's spending plus $500 plus.
Yeah.
And listen,
That's really nice of her.
Reese makes a good living.
Yeah.
But that's pretty damn cool. I do
love
like
seeing
that.
stuff like that, and it's just really, it makes something that's magical to begin with that much more so.
So somebody look for Preston during the 5th inning.
Yeah. And you guys can go look for.
I'm gonna buy 500 beers. I'm gonna top her. So listen, next Wednesday,
yes,
at the Camp Out for Hunger is our food trucks and fireworks event.
Yay!
We're excited about this, and we have stepped things up a bit.
This year, 19.
19.
Oh my God. That's how big this event got.
And by the way, they came loaded for Bear, Preston, and a lot of the trucks were running out of food because there was just such a high quality of food. And but the response to the first time out for the event was enormous.
Yeah, that's the goal of an event like this. You want the truck to sell out, and we all know that's what a food truck event is. You're coming, you're standing in line, you're picking the truck you want to do. We have some savory trucks. We have a couple sweet trucks in there to grab some dessert, and everybody has those. But we're kind of anticipating. I talked to the folks from Xfinity Live, been talking to them for a while, and they were like, we should double it. It's going to be that big, and they're the experts. They know it.
They do know they know what's going on. And by the way, Celebration Fireworks, who's doing the fireworks display, obviously after everybody eats and everything, is stepping up their presentation as well. They have
so good
surprises that we don't know, so we're leaving it up to them. So we're excited. So let's run through
food truck activities.
Yes, food truck activities.
I finally get an activity list.
Where's Kyle? Kyle needs to sing just a last second. Come in here, Kyle. If you went for a second, we need a live food truck activities. And I know it's just you singing without harmony and everything, but you can jump on. All right,
go on your own mic.
We'll have him get on the mic over here with Marissa. So, Kyle.
Food truck activities.
There By the way, congratulations to Kyle, now a full-time member of the Preston and Steve Show in our video department.
Yeah, somebody needs to get him an email address, though.
He doesn't have one
he doesn't
yet?
even have one yet.
Oh, those things are expensive.
There was an email that went out that welcomed him to the show, right?
The only one who didn't get it was him.
Yeah. All right. Let's go through some of the trucks. And Marissa, if you want to expand on these, feel free to jump in. The first is going to be 2 Street Sammys. on-site sandwich making, which, by the way, today is National Sandwich Day.
What? Whoa.
What?
Are you serious?
What? Yeah, it
And Two
is.
Street Sammy's is the husband of Stephan, who used to run Phil Abundance.
Oh.
So we sampled last year. In fact, that's where Claire and I ended up. Really, really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so
what?
2 Street Sammy's.
So we have a couple of trucks who will be returning from last year, and then a whole lot of new ones.
All right, so they were there last year?
They were.
Oh, so the ones in boldface are the ones that were last. Okay, so Marissa did this for me. Awesome little cupcakes. Those are awesome little cupcakes.
Awesome.
They're so delightful.
Yeah, a couple.
It's a cupcake shop and truck out of Tacony, and so they will be there to supply some dessert for us. Then you have, who was there last year, Algorithm, the vegan crew. Philadelphia Magazine's best food truck, by the way, serving badass coffee, sandwiches, tacos, and more.
So Matthew, who's the head muckety muck, and he's the whole runner of that. The food is so damn good. He's such a charitable guy, and I know he's psyched for this.
Mm-hmm. And opening up a brick and mortar soon.
Yes.
All right. Also, Auntie Anne's will be serving those classic Auntie Anne's pretzels that everybody loves.
Home run. What?
I know. Also, will be bacon.
You got me.
That's bake and bacon. Bake apostrophe N bacon. It is a bacon exclusive menu. Because events go better with bacon. It's
True.
I want to say I've had theirs before.
Possibly. This one I was really excited for. These guys also are opening a brick and mortar soon in the old Devil's Den in South Philly. And so they just had a little big hubbub in the food world. So I was really excited they could join us for
Okay,
this.
I have had these. They were at a food truck event in Wildwood Crest. And yes, I had a bacon and brisket sandwich, I think.
Oh my
so.
God. Everything bacon.
Yep, fantastic. They also have, speaking of Wildwood Crest, Big Top Surfing Sunday will be back. We love those guys.
Yeah.
Oh, you guys always rave about that.
Oh, yeah. Unfortunately, I'm on the rotation. I see them about 4 or 5 times a day.
Oh, that could be a problem.
In the summertime.
Yeah.
My son works for them.
Yeah, that's right. Seamus is a serving up surfing Sundays. We also have Burgers by Wild Witch. And these are smash burgers. So the ones that they flatten out nice and thin, usually have a really good, rich, buttery taste to them. So we're excited that we have a good burger joint that's going to be on board. Here's one that's on board, and it all came from a phone call one morning. Corn Hub.
Corn Hub.
Yeah.
We had mentioned that we had heard the name Corn Hub, and I don't know why we were talking about corn that particular morning, but we said you've got to come out to this. So they do traditional fire-roasted Mexican street corn.
Love it.
So Corn Hub will be there.
And the logo looks remotely similar to a popular online porn distributor.
Yes, it does.
Joe Bell is very excied for this one.
Sure. Well, he loves porn and he loves corn.
He's our overall manager here at the radio station. How about this? Cousins Maine Lobster. Serving wild-caught, sustainably harvested Maine lobster. We got a lobster joint.
Wow.
At this event.
They serve great lobster rolls I've had before at a bunch of events. Lobster tots.
Lobster tots?
Yeah, you want to
tots.
explain lobster tots?
Oh,
Those are little
I don't know what they
lobster
are.
children.
it's a bowl of tater tots covered with lobster.
Oh.
All right. Fair enough.
Yes.
Then you have Dump and Roll. The
I
premier,
just did that.
The premier dumpling and roll specialist.
Oh.
What types are like sushi rolls?
Like sushi rolls and
okay.
such. Yeah.
All right.
I'm gonna try
sounds
some of that.
Fantastic. Then you have the Flying Deutschman, serving authentic German cuisine. This is international. There's all kinds of different cuisines being sold.
We should have It's a Small World playing while you walk in.
At this event. Yeah,
Well,
we're going to have
gonna
live
get to
music,
that.
so we'll maybe so. Delco Steaks.
Hey!
Delco?
They will be there. It's Delco Steaks on the go. So they will be representing.
Where did I just see their taco? Not their taco truck. I got tacos on the mic.
Think about tacos.
Where did I see Delco Steaks taco truck?
Was it on Good Day Philadelphia with Mike and Alex?
No, I got to go through where I've been in the last week.
Don't you keep a list like a journal?
Taco truck.
Today's Springfield.
So Delco Steaks will be there. Also joining us is Kono.
Oh,
Pizza reinvented, serving pizza baked into a cone shape.
Oh, they were there last year, right?
They were not.
Oh, I've seen those then.
Yeah.
I can't remember where, though. Give me a minute.
it was at the Xfinity. We did an Xfinity appearance where Kono was.
It was by that taco truck. Yeah.
I went to a Kono, and I don't know if it's the same like umbrella company or whatever, but I went to Kono on the Wildwood Boardwalk. It's all the way at the end on the south end of the boardwalk. I loved it.
Yeah.
I was actually a big fan. I was like, wow, and it was at the very end of the summer too.
So they will be on board. And then next to Corn Hub, I think my favorite name of one of the food trucks is Mom Mom's Nom Noms.
It's great.
Handmade pierogi and other specialties by Philly's first and only Polish food cart.
I'm a pierogi fan.
Yeah, then you got to be all over this one. Returning from last year is Moshava.
Oh, they were super popular.
Twist on Israeli street foods. They are backed by popular demand. Also backed by popular demand is the Munchie Machine. Scubalicious inspired food truck involving the toughest cases, solving the toughest cases of the Munchie. So they look like the Mystery Machine.
Yes.
Then you have, Steve, this one I think you'll be a little bit happy about. Rosie's Kettle Corn.
What?
It's a direct connection to our show as well.
Family owned and operated fresh popped kettle corn. How are they directly related to us?
Rosie's is run by our former intern Adrian and her mom.
She is awesome. In fact, I can connect with them because I was buying that kettle corn from them. It's sensational.
I used it as a baby shower gift.
Yes.
It was great. It's little giveaways.
Then we have two others returning. We have Taba Choy, which is a Filipino food cart. Bring the comfort food of the Philippines to Philadelphia.
I love their taco truck.
And then our buddy Steve Wilson at Wilson's Secret Sauce will be there as well. The award-winning Upper Darby style barbecue.
Sensational.
All kinds of great stuff. So those are the food trucks. Also, Wisfis will have an ice cream truck. Xfinity will be doing a mobile display. Planet Fitness and CSL Plasma will be on board. And we're also going to have Five Below, which is a 360-degree photo booth. And they'll have props and things like that, so you can take pictures while you're there. Xfinity Live will have beer tubs throughout the event space.
Excellent.
So you can have some beverages while you're there. And we're very excited that we will have live music from the highly sought-after Snack Time.
Woo!
They're going to be
Very
playing
cool.
live. Yep.
Great.
Loud, high energy, big brass band on stage. So that's going to add an awesome flavor of deliciousness to our ears while we're there.
Outside?
Yep.
I believe so,
They're
yeah.
going to be on the stage. I just saw them recently. They do covers of like Nirvana and Prince and Snoop. They do everything, and they are just so much fun. They bring a party. I mean, it's a tuba and trumpets. It's all brass. It's just really great.
I tell you what, right now the weather looks to be great for next Wednesday, and again, I'm so glad you're going to be there, Preston. Because
Yes.
and then once the fireworks kick in, if they're improving on what they did last year, I can only imagine because everyone was absolutely blown away by the fireworks display.
And it's all set to music as well.
It is.
Which is really cool. So
And there might be a recorded voice that you hear at the
maybe
beginning of
so
it.
at the beginning of that. So Celebration Fireworks is doing that. The fireworks display is set to go off at 8 o'clock. But man, what time do you guys suggest people get there for the event? What time do the food trucks open?
So the event is from 5 to 8. Of course, just be prepared. It does take a little while to get up to the front and to order your food and for your food to be prepared. So give yourself a good 90 minutes, couple hours. We do have all of these activities going on. It is a completely free event and family friendly. So we ask, we invite everyone to make a donation. You can drop off your food at the Camp Out for Hunger tent. Park your car and then walk over. We'll also have online donations. I assume they'll probably be taking cash donations at the moment.
You
if you
say
feel like
free
doing that.
event. It's free to attend, but you have to pay for your food at the food trucks.
The food trucks are pay as you go, so you're just paying there. But we are throwing this big party and a free fireworks from Celebration Fireworks.
Right.
And you have to donate.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep. So please make a donation if you can. All right. That's exciting stuff. I'm stoked about it. Casey, do we have the capability to take a break and come back?
We have to. Yes.
Okay. All right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
we're going to do that. You want to add something else, Maris?
No.
Okay.
Just looking forward to it.
So
It's my
done and
favorite
done.
event.
That is next Wednesday. Camp Out for Hunger starts on Monday, but Food Trucks and Fireworks begins next Wednesday.
Yes.
Make those plans to join us. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. Taryn Killam from SNL will be on board. Our buddy John Brazier stopping by. We'll return shortly.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
We can go to get all this information, a website or anything, you guys?
I just want to meet the King of Prussia.
Yes, we all do.
And I want to see Mrs. Prussia.
Sure.
Mr. Prussia. And all of the little Prussias.
All the Prussiettes. Yeah.
I'm actually Mrs. Prussia.
She is. Yeah. She shops there all the time.
I heard that she cooks.
Oh,
You heard wrong.
have heard wrong, sir.
Wrong, Mrs. Prussia.
She makes reservations. Yeah.
I can make a mean reservation.
She makes a mean reservation.
She makes a mean Romanoff.
Ladies and gentlemen, please give some love to the one and only Mr. Mickey Hart. Yeah. Thanks for coming by, man. So let me go to here and more broken ribs. I have it says Walper. Is your name Walper?
Walter.
Walper.
Honestly, wouldn't you at least say
Walper?
Is this Judge Wapner calling in?
You got a nickname now, Walter.
Oh my God!
Yeah, you hear what happened to old Walper.
That's not even a mistype. I'm looking at the T and the P are like nowhere near each other on the keyboard.
Name's Walper.
Let me get that straight. Your actual name is Walter. And what happened to you? So what happened to you, Walter?
All right. Well,
All right.
I've broken my hand.
Yeah.
I've fractured all my ribs.
Were these fights over your weird name, Walper?
It's not my name!
This guy's name's Walper. I'm gonna punch you.
But at least you got a great nickname today.
Walper.
Well, hang in there, brother, okay?
From Touchstone Pictures, the inspiring story of a man named Walper. I've seen him. He's got some medical issues, but the worst thing is his name is Walper. And then a young therapist came into his life. Hi, I'm Kathy Romano. We're going to change that P to a T.
Simple as that.
And then his life turned around.
I'm the head of a Fortune 500 company.
Yeah.
And I can do the saber dance.
That morning show's not making fun of me anymore.
Oh, man.
So the Kardashians won big as well last night, and they had a weird speech. They were trying to thank firefighters and stuff, and they they actually made their win a tribute to the firefighters. And listen, see if you can hash this out. Yeah.
Okay, here we go.
It's been a really rough week in our home in Calabasas, Hidden Hills, and our neighbors in Thousand Oaks and Malibu. Our hearts are broken from the horrific shootings and those who have lost their lives and homes, as well as the hundreds of thousands of us that have been evacuated from the devastating fires that are currently burning. So thank you so much to all of the people that have voted for us. This is such an honor.
Did you make that leap there? Did you make that leap?
Okay.
There's a lot of fire out there, but thank you for voting for us.
Are they dedicating the award?
It gets to that at the end, yeah.
All right.
I'd like to dedicate this win to all of the firefighters, the law enforcement, and the first responders.
Okay, that makes more sense. Okay.
I'd like to thank the people what put out the fires.
Like, it just doesn't seem very genuine ever when it comes from them.
You can see the guys who are really, eating smoke and battling flames up. I got great news, guys! Kardashian win was dedicated to us!
Like, I can just see them sitting around like, when we win, we should like dedicate to somebody so it makes us look good.
Listen, I want to tell everyone up there on the mountain, you guys are doing a great job. The Kardashians just donated their win to you on a field source floor. I just want to carry that into the fire with you.
That's the chief going on the radio to tell all the guys.
Attention everyone, Kardashians just donated their win on the People's Choice Awards to you. So I hope that inspires you to go marching into those flames and that super heat and that whipped up win. No word on Little Women Elliott yet.
Yeah. No. During the final night of the Experience and Innocence tour in Berlin, Bono made a comment that has fans fearing that this is the end of the iconic band. He said, "We've been on the road for quite some time, just going on 40 years, and this last 4 years have been really something very special for us. We're going away now." So that led people to think that maybe the band is done.
Doesn't mean that the band is breaking up or that we're going away or we're stopping performing. We're just taking a well-deserved trip to the Great Wolf Lodge.
Where parents can drink while their kids ride down water slides.
It is amazing there.
It is amazing. Kathy says it's amazing too.
Yeah. Well, none of the kids would recognize you two, so they could be pretty, they could be in obscurity for a moment.
You can literally drink in the pools there.
You can literally drink in the pool and piss in the pool at the same time. If it's so chlorinated, it doesn't make a difference. I took a full level bowel movement and no one could tell because the water was so chlorinated, it just ate it right up. All the fecal matter dispersed. Okay.
I don't know.
What's
I don't think
that?
that's no.
Oh, you did it as well, Kathy?
No, that's
You dropped a bomb in the pool? You popped a landmine out?
That's not.
You put a depth charge in the deep end?
A full level bowel movement.
And no one was the wiser. Even the edge was standing right next to me. He was totally enveloped in my poop cloud and had no idea.
No idea.
That's a quality pool there. I think most people, upon moving into a house, remove all the demonic paintings. That's part of the deal. A lot of people will change the pentagram carpet for maybe like a light shag.
We had our house built. I like the fact that we're the very first people to own the home.
But are you?
Because
on an Indian graveyard, right? That's where you.
They didn't remove the graves.
You know what? We had to blast to actually get to pour the foundation. So I'm pretty certain there was nothing below
So it
where
was a lot
it
of
was.
fun?
So what's that?
It was a blast.
It was a blast.
Yes, where you saw bones flying and pieces of coffin.
But I like the fact that when we're done and gone, or when we eventually decide to move on, that that was we made that. We had a say in how that thing was put together. And
in here was where the owner was caught pleasuring himself by his wife, unaware that the light from his laptop was obscuring his vision. Follow me into the observatory.
I was wearing headphones too. I didn't hear her come in. Kathy shakes her head.
Headphone, like you were all in.
Oh, hey, you can't do that half-ass, man.
No.
Clearly.
You gotta go all
Sure,
in.
he was vigorously providing himself with pleasure. His wife called out to him, but he could not hear because he was listening to his headphones. And here is the pool table, where pool is seldom played, but clothing is full.
My daughter and I played pool the other night.
Oh, there you are.
First time in a while. She asked me to. But yes, it's become a laundry table. Oh my God! Yeah, what are the other wonderful things? What are the other
as they lead the tour?
Horrible things that have
no
happened.
one stays in this house after night.
The dining room where no one eats, they drink, right? Isn't there a bar in there?
Yes.
Yes.
Well, let's not forget the old house with the haunted litter box.
It was on a rainy night when the owner awoke from many hours of drinking and raised a shotgun to the automatic kitty litter cleaner, yelling out, "I want to see you."
I've got a gun.
I've got a gun.
I gave him 10 seconds to get out of the house, which I thought was,
We should all design haunted tours of our current houses and the dumb crap.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
My brother thinks my house is haunted. He's said that since the day we've moved in.
No
he said there's somebody that lives here with you.
Wait, your country house?
Yeah, my
Really?
current house. Yeah, since the day that my brother lived
You're the
with me
first owners.
for a little while, and he said he's like I hear them. He goes they walk around.
Wait, did you have the house built?
Yes.
Okay, so you're the first owner.
We are the first owner. There was a house.
Place is too clean.
No, but Preston, there was a house there that was knocked down.
Okay.
And actually, the man who has since passed away, he was a wonderful man, lived across the street from me.
I hope you rot in hell.
No, well, he did the masonry work on the house. And he told me one time, he goes, yeah, when they were tearing down that house, he goes, I sat outside and watched. He goes, I did, all of that work on the house. And I was like, oh my God,
man.
I'm so sorry.
And now it's haunted by Slender Man theme.
Yeah, so it's...
Slender Manthe.
I mean, I think it's haunted.
These jeans.
Slender Manthe.
Do these jeans make me look hippie?
Big J.O.
Yes.
Hey!
That's right, everyone. I'm here. I'm not Miss August or December.
No.
I don't know, Kathy. Any of that traffic, did it seem like something that would have kept Miss December out of here?
Yes, I think so.
I don't know where she was coming from.
Hey,
Did any of that traffic add up?
Were you here one time before when we rolled out the calendar?
He was.
Yeah, I feel
I
like
was
we
here for a
were.
calendar. I was here for Philadelphia's hottest trans.
Really?
Yeah.
right. You
Did we do that? I totally forgot.
Yeah, Philadelphia's sexiest lady boy.
You guys met, right? You guys got to hang out after.
So I've never seen more women in a room and not a pube for miles. I can guarantee it.
There was a weird situation we had you in, right?
It was his friend.
Anyhow, we're ready to welcome our next guest.
Yeah.
I know I'll have my mic working for that. You've known him from TV shows, movies, and Saturday Night Live and all this stuff.
Everything.
Massive fan of professional football.
Hardcore.
Yes, which he should be an Eagles fan because things are looking good. So the NFL Pylon is on Prime Video, and you can catch it Wednesdays at 7 p.m. Please welcome Taryn Killam to our show.
Good morning, good morning, good morning.
Nice to see you, Taryn.
Congrats, fly, Eagles, fly, and what have you. My brother's a huge Eagles fan. So.
Oh, really?
Huge. Since before, like, I was a football fan, and a really arbitrary one. He was like, I like green and I like birds.
Okay, that was the question. How did he become a fan? Green and birds. All right, we'll take it, right?
Well, you are a native Californian, so it makes sense. You live,
Correct,
eat,
yeah.
and breathe the Rams, right?
Yeah, exactly. And Los Angeles specifically, like born and raised, didn't have a team most of my life, and just kind of always vowed that I'd be all in from the ground up of whichever team we got back, be it Rams, Jaguar, whoever it was, and it just so happened that the Rams came home. So and it's been a fun 6 years with them.
Yeah, LA's
and
been
now we're taking our medicine.
Yeah, no, I know, but LA's bin a weird football town. It's the Rams, the Raiders. I don't remember like exactly the history, but the Rams they started in LA, and then they went to St. Louis, and then back to LA, and you were there. You were a fan. You came up as when the Rams had Eric Dickerson, correct?
Well, so no, I full disclosure, probably switched allegiances. Both teams left when I was like 10 years old. But I think for that first decade, the team I was more aware of was the Raiders, quite honestly, because you're dealing with like Marcus Allen, Howie Long, Ronnie Lott, Bo Jackson, and it's the Madden franchise at that point, right? The first game I ever went to, like I was less than a year old, was a Rams game. So I see some synchronicity in that. But for me, it was more about just like getting to, I love where I'm from and I love football and I wanted to have a home team to root for. So I kind of like went all in, also knowing that we were going to have like the most beautiful sports stadium in the world.
My God. I wanted to ask you about that, Taryn, because it was really interesting when LA all of a sudden got from 0 teams to 2 teams, and the Chargers were playing in the soccer stadium and the Rams were playing in the old Coliseum, which I've been to before, and it's a historic building, but quite frankly, it's kind of a dump. And then both of those teams get this brand new gorgeous stadium. So what is that place like? I haven't had a chance to get there yet. They had the Super Bowl there last year.
It's so beautiful, like, and because I've been like such a hyper loud fan, the second that the Rams touched down in Los Angeles, I've sort of I've ingratiated myself to the team. So I got to visit while they were building the place. Like I was there when it was just like 100-foot hole in the ground, and then I was there when it was just down to the studs. So there's so many like cool details that people don't even realize. The Rams locker room is in a spiral shape, like a Ram's horn. Like
Wow.
The locker room is a horn. And the same thing with the Chargers. It's a lightning bolt. It's this jagged diagonal thing. So little details like that. Like they really thought about the artistry. Driving up, it's beautiful. It's got this huge, like beautiful wave. They tried to really like lean into the Southern California beach palm tree vibe. Like both sides of the stadium are open air and they have these canyons with like palm trees and succulents.
Wow.
It's just a work of art. So they still haven't figured out the parking.
Well, anything in that area is going to be problematic when you get into an automobile.
Yeah, but you had me at
part of our
succulents.
identity. It wouldn't make sense if driving there was easy.
Yeah, it's a breeze. So I have to ask you, the NFL Pylon, you are already on social media, on Instagram, I think is your platform of choice, espousing your take on the games. These things synergize, your adoration, your love. So it now becomes your job to be on it, on this level. Is that a wonderful thing, or does having it as a job kind of detract from it?
Very astute. Yeah, careful what you wish for. You know what I mean? It's both. Quite honestly, like coming into it, I was like, oh, what a dream. I have to be consumed by football and then, create entertainment based around that, which is pretty much what I'd be doing with my free time. I love having an excuse to watch football on Sundays that literally pays the bills.
Yes.
Like my wife, you know what I mean, can't argue that, like, hey, come on, can you focus up a little bit more? This is work now.
Yeah. Well, so
that's the plus side. The bottom, the bad side, the downside is like, I'm a season ticket holder at SoFi for the Rams, and anytime I go there now, the show and the producers are like, hey, maybe we can get you to get some footage while you're on the field. So when I'm at the home games rooting for my team, I want to grab a hot dog. I want to grab a whiskey. I want to sit and watch the game. So now I have these like work obligations in my recreational time. And that's where I'm like, hold on. I didn't sign up for this part.
Well, let me ask you. So you're married to Colby Smulders, who is, we adore her from the Marvel universe and How I Met Your Mother and so on and so forth. This is the classic conundrum that I think is probably, you talk about a football widow, though there are a tremendous amount of women who are absolutely into football as well. Which dynamic exists in your home?
Yeah, she's the widowiest widow of all time. Like I brought her to the NFC conference championship going like, this'll do it.
Yeah.
We are going to beat the Niners in SoFi, go to the Super Bowl. She's going to feel the energy. She's going to be bitten by the bug. And I was sort of watching her, and she's the best. So, of course, she's supportive while there. We get in the car, and I'm like still sweating. My face is bright red. I've lost my voice. And I turn over to her, and I was like, so what'd you think? How was it? And she just looks over so earnestly and goes, I really like that you like it.
Yes. There you go. Oh, I've heard that. I've heard that in my own life. And you know exactly. And therein is the love. That is the love, right?
That's love.
That's the whole thing. So very cool. So the show itself is, for people who don't know, it's sort of to me, it seems like Talk Soup meets The Daily Show.
This is it. This is it. Meets football. Exactly.
And
you can kind of insert your favorite comedy show, meets football. And like the episode that just aired yesterday, we did a whole sort of thesis on how we can make our show more accessible to non-football fans. And by the end of it, kind of own up to the fact that if you don't love football, you might miss a lot of the references. But we're the first comedy show produced by NFL Films. Like we are an NFL company endorsed comedy show, which I honestly thought would come with a lot more pitfalls.
Well,
sure.
You've got to have it. I mean, you have access to those.
Brand. You can't say this. You can't do that.
Right. Yeah.
And so far, not really. Like, it's pretty shocking. Okay. And then on top of that, like, we have access to all of their archival footage, not from just this season, from every season they've ever filmed stuff.
Oh, that's the gold mine.
Yeah.
It is. It's overwhelming, quite honestly. Like, that's the thing that we're still, like, chipping at this huge, giant monolith going, like, how do we best use this? Because,
and you did.
It is a gold mine. Like
as a matter of fact, I was watching the episode, and you started with, you had a whole montage of players letting the ball bounce off of their helmet, and it started with who do you call it? Drop that pass. It was just thrown right to him. He should have had a touchdown. Who was it this past Sunday? It was Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett dropped a touchdown pass. So that's what kicked it all off. And then, I mean, it went to like, because listen, I'm a football fan my entire life. I loved waking up on Saturday morning and watching Inside the NFL. And that was like that, and then you might get a kick out of this. My daughter has a friend. She's in high school. And I find out that her last name is Facenda. And I go, hang on a second. Yeah.
Well, NFL Films was around here.
Yeah. And like, that's her great grandfather. And I was like, oh my, yeah.
Can you please pass me this?
The frozen peas.
Yeah. So I really do appreciate that it's not only the current stuff, but that you have access and that you do access all of that old stuff. Maybe this stuff isn't made for people that aren't football fans, but for those of us that are, I totally appreciate that.
I'm not Preston and I are these guys are more intensely sports based, but I watch. I enjoy it because there are skits, there are riffs that so if you're not connecting with every single reference, right? It's such a general good vibe that it works. So I think you're on track. Yeah,
that's so kind. Yeah, I mean, the sort of the theme of the show more than anything is just passionate fandom. So hopefully that's an entry point. No matter if you're a passionate fan about football or musical theater, we literally the first sketch of our show this past week was a Sondheim parody. So, it speaks to sort of the duality, the kind of like grab bag of interests that I have. I love football. I'm diehard. I love comedy. That's the huge passion of mine. But I also love musical theater and all things Marvel and comic books. So we just try to make it a party more than anything else.
Well, let me ask you, because sports, we have our sister station, our sports station. They have to walk a fine line because you also have to be, it's the very nature of the beast that you have to be critical. You have to be doing postmortems and assessing and calling people to task. So you have to walk that line because you want to be inviting to all those potential athletes that you might want to get on the show, but you also have to kind of play to the crowd that expects that. What was
exactly right? I mean, it's so true, and honestly, like we have some pretty great writers. Bennett Weber has written for the ESPYs and the NFL Honors for years now, and did all of Riggle's picks on Fox. Really smart, funny guy. Sarah Tiana, like there is no more diehard sports fan that I've ever met in my life, and she's just the funniest person ever. So that they're pretty well calibrated to that. It's then offering yourself up and comedy, which is subjective, to that sports culture. That can sting, but is also great because we're all sports fans, so we get it. You know what I mean? Like, and hold us to task in terms of like, if we're gonna make fun of the Jets fans, you better believe they're bringing out all their receipts.
Right. But players, I think a lot of players do have a sense of humor about things that happen within the game, and I don't know if you've caught any of Jason Kelce and Travis Kelce's podcast at all.
Yes.
I mean, so the
they're the funniest,
and they're great, and they actually have a great sense of humor about the game that they played the previous week, and in 2 weeks in a row, Jason took a hard hit against the Lions, and then the following week Travis took a hard hit against the Chargers, and the way that they were busting each other's chops and really took it like a champ as far as the comedy is concerned, I thought was really, really great.
It's awesome. I mean, I've never met Jason, but Travis, I've done a charity that happens in Kansas City for it's the Big Slick. So it's Stone Street and Rob Riggle and Keckner and Sudeikis and Paul Rudd. They do this big charity for Children's Mercy Hospital, which is so fun and like the best weekend ever. And Travis has been there a few times, and he's it's not fair, but he's like funnier than most comedians. He's really like, he's the most charismatic 6'6", 250-pound person I've ever met in my life.
So Taryn, you're quite familiar with the fans here in Philadelphia, and the only thing this time of year that could overshadow an undefeated record in the NFL is the fact that the Phillies are in the World Series right now. It is the only thing that could overshadow things right now. It is unbelievable here right now. Even our soccer team, our professional soccer team, is going to the finals.
In LA?
Yeah. In LA.
Amazing.
It is insane here. What do you think
What's
about
in the water? What's in the water?
I know.
I should say.
The water. In the water.
Yeah.
Do you want to take a stab at what you think the Eagles are going to do for the remainder of the season?
I honestly like the way that they're playing, because there was a jinx that like the NFL social media put up. They're like, what previous undefeated teams, how did they do in the postseason? And it shows like back to 2018, which teams were 7-0, 8-0, and then where they ended up. But the way that the Eagles are playing, I think that I'd be shocked if they're. I mean, I would put all money in for certainly conference finals. They're going to the NFC finals. and it'll be an upset if they're not in the bowl. There's just such a AJ. The way that AJ is playing, the entire defense surrounds AJ Brown, and he still catches these passes from Jalen effortlessly.
Taryn, in 2009, the Phils were in the World Series against the Yankees, and they played a home game, and then across the street, the Eagles played the Giants. So it was 2 New York versus Philly games in South Philly the same night. Tonight, Game 5 in South Philly. Fortunately for us who are going to the game, the Eagles are in Houston, so we don't have to deal with 70,000 other people parking there. But it is a really magical time here in Philly. And speaking of the World Series, do you have any thoughts about how that's going so far?
Houston's bad karma, I think, is to despite no hitters last night aside.
Yeah.
I think the Phillies take it for sure, and I'm certainly rooting for the Phillies because. Chris Peasy is our showrunner. Huge Philly guy, Philly sports through and through. And I'm not as baseball knowledgeable, but he came in furious. And I guess that the previous game the Houston won, he's like, watch the pitcher. Watch the pitcher. He's rubbing his fingers all over his uniform.
That cheater moniker, man. The Astros are going to be carrying that around for the rest of days, and in large part, it's deserved. Like they have 100%. that. Yeah, for a reason.
Do you think we've talked about this often because you have a lot of transplants out in LA, obviously, and so the perception's always been there's sort of like a ragtag. Fan base. And we know there's actually a lot of Philly fans out there, Adam McKay and Adam Goldberg, and a lot of, people from this area. Do you encounter outside of it and just, outside of just your football stuff, just as you're doing your comedy stuff, a lot of Philly fans out there?
100%. Yeah. Rob McElhaney is a huge Philadelphia fan. I mean, you said it perfectly. LA is such a transplant city. California is also such a massive state, too. You know what I mean? So there's a lot of space for people to come in. The Rams just got their butts handed to them once again by San Francisco, but San Francisco is a dynasty California team. So that's not as shocking to me. Dallas always shows up really well, at home games out here for us. And like I said, the Philly presence is everywhere. Peasy, one of our writers, Pat, he called in sick this week, air quotes. Because he's in
called in sick, huh? Yeah. Yeah, you're hip to that.
I mean, but I love that. It's an identity of this city that I love. That I wouldn't change for anything because you get that melting pot of point of views, histories, backgrounds, fandom. And I just think it makes for more interesting conversation, who wants homogeny.
No, I agree.
Well, there's plenty of interesting conversation that's going on in the NFL Pylon. You can find it on Prime Video Wednesdays at 7 p.m. or when the new episodes come on board. So good luck with everything, Taryn. Looks like you're having fun doing it, so I'm sure people are going to love it.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for having me.
Tell your wife we love her.
Yes, we will. We love her.
All right, Taryn Killam, guys. The Pylon.
I don't know if you heard he said go Phillies at the end there.
Oh, he did?
Yeah.
That's a beautiful thing. Well, we can continue on with that right now because looking to my left, John Brazier.
Hey.
How you doing, man?
I am very superstitious, so after last night, I went home at 1 in the morning and shaved my beard. I said I'm going to wear new sneakers the next day, and I've got a new top right here. I'm going to do more red. So
you sent me and Casey a picture last night, which we'll get into in a second, but it was full beard. And then I walk out in the green room, and I'm like, wait a minute, that's not the Brazier I saw 12 hours ago.
I had to change it up. My poor wife was sleeping while I'm like, so got to do what you got to do, right?
Oh, yeah. Well, you talk about a dichotomy of situations, but again, as with anything like this, they're going into this game tonight even, so that anything can happen.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's a best-of-3 series right now, and who knows who can win in a best-of-3.
And if it's a back and forth, if it's a we win, you win, we win, you win, then we win.
Exactly right. Well, and I'll even give you, we got on a combined no-hitter on April 29th against the Mets this year, right? And we came back and won 4-1 the next day. Rhys Hoskins and Schwarber hit a home run. I'm not saying that they can't do that tonight, but you guys are going to be there bringing the good mojo.
Right.
So we'll see. But I tell you what, this whole playoff run has been awesome. I got so many great stories, even from couple days ago. If I go ahead, Casey, you want?
No. You continue your thought.
All right. So here's one story. It's classic. So Dave Zinkoff, legendary Sixers PA announcer back when Dr. J was playing.
Is that the now betting for your Phillies?
Well, that's Dan Baker.
Okay.
No, Dave Zinkoff with the
Julius
Irving. That's right. So we had Julius Irving, obviously as part of the first pitch, was super cool. We had Brandon Graham, we had Julius Irving, we had Mike Schmidt, Bernie Prant. So crowd went nuts. So anyway, we had Julius Irving the night it got postponed. Hadn't been postponed yet. I've got Dr. J in a suite, and so I called Tom Burgoyne, the best friend of the Fanatic.
Yes.
I said, Tom, he's a huge Sixers fan. You got to come down to suite so-and-so. Come down and meet Dr. J. So Tom comes down there. He's all excited. He meets Dr. J. And I said, hey, Dr. J, Tom Burgoyne here does a great Zinkoff impression. So he's like, really? So Tom looked at me. He's like, oh, God, you're going to make me do this in front of Dr. J? He did. I have it on video. I'll show you guys during the break. It was the most unbelievable Zinkoff, and he did the whole, Julius Irving. And Dr. J's just looking at him with his big smile, going like, this guy's a nut job.
Oh, that's awesome.
And then last night, it was pretty cool. We had Sherry O'Terry from Saturday Night Live.
We love her.
Who is great. She is the most fun person. I hung out with her all last night. So she came to the game, and she didn't know that Miles Teller was going to be there. Miles Teller didn't know that Sherry O'Terry is going to be there. I don't know if anybody saw the opening of Saturday Night Live this year where Miles Teller hosted, and his mom had video footage they showed on Saturday Night Live of him doing the cheerleader scene of Sherry, and he was Sherry O'Terry.
He was a female character.
Yeah, so I'm taking Miles around pregame, and I said, hey, I've got a surprise for you. I'm going to introduce you to someone today that's influential in your life, but I'm pretty sure you've never met this person. And so he's trying to guess like 15, 20 people. And I said, don't stop guessing. You're not going to get it. So anyway, I said, here, come with me because this person is here. And I'm going to, so I brought him up in the executive room, put him in a little couch with his family. I go grab Sherry O'Terry. She has no idea what's going on. I said, hey, Sherry, I'm going to introduce you to somebody that's, that you guys have a connection. Okay, so she comes down. Next thing you know, I open up the door and I wheel her around the corner. I said, Sherry, Miles Teller. Next thing you know, the look on both their faces was like, oh my God. Next thing you know, they're talking like inside stories on Saturday Night Live, how hard it is and how nerve-wracking it is and the live performances and it was, and we have it all on video. It was really cool.
Excellent.
So this playoff experience has been pretty wild with all the different celebrities and things that are going on.
It seems bigger this year than it was in 08, 09.
It does.
Yeah, it does. So we were talking a little bit about superstitions in the beginning of this interview. You shaved your beard. Now, I'm going to the game tonight, and I'm going to need your help. And I don't really call in favors all that often, but I'm going to need.
I'm scared now.
I'm going to need a private room because
just a private room.
In just the World Series, but don't worry about it. Game 5.
Yeah, just
sure. What else do you want?
It can be a bathroom. It can be a closet.
You want to be in the bullpen? What do you got?
Hear me out. Do you want the Phillies to win? Game 3 the other night, I watched the top half of that inning and I was completely naked. So I need to be somewhere where I can be completely naked for the top half of the first inning. That's all I'm asking.
So not only does he need the private room, he's going to be naked in there.
Can I bring Sherry O'Terry and Miles Teller into the office where I have you naked?
I was by myself.
Oh, by the way, he was eating lobster thermidor at the time.
So I got to order that too.
You can go in the bathroom stall and strip.
Yeah, that seems a little weird, but I will do that.
That's the part that seems weird.
Yeah.
The stall is the weird part.
Yes.
Hey, did you see
John Middleton saying, who's this naked guy in the hallway?
I need to be alone.
Local radio show.
I just need a private bathroom, a private room, a utility closet, something.
I want to ask you about last night, John. Did you? Bruce was there, Bruce Springsteen, and I didn't think that he was a Phils fan, but he was showing up rooting for the Phils. The First Lady was there. When those that level of caliber of celebrity,
megastar,
I mean, and the Secret Service has to show up because of the First Lady, and Bruce, I saw him getting escorted around. What's that like for you?
Well, I think for a lot of us, first of all, anybody from the White House, obviously anybody that needs Secret Service, I'll tell you exactly. So last night, the fourth inning, the Fanatic was going to do his routine with Sherry Terry. That's why she was there. And she went out there and they did a whole cheerleader thing. And the Fanatic was dressed up as a cheerleader, and Sherry Terry came out as a surprise. So we were supposed to come out the third base tunnel. There's a tunnel that comes out where normally that's where Jason Kelce came out for his Fanatic routine. And we couldn't go that way, and we had this whole thing planned out.
Oh man!
And these Secret Service people saying you can't come out here. I said, well, we're doing this Fanatic routine, and we have to go down to Third Base Tunnel. I said, sorry, that you can't do it. And so I had to go to the Fanatic and Tom's best friend. I said, guys, you can't. We can't do that. What do we? So we're all scrambling trying to figure out. So then we had to come up the home base tunnel. So yes, it causes some things.
Wait, but isn't that weird when they're in your house telling you what you can't do?
I went on the field, just barely went on the field because we had the I was part of the first pitch. I wasn't part of the first pitch, but
right.
I was bringing some of the first pitch down. We had Miles Teller, Rob McElhenney, Chase, and Jimmy Rollins, and the Major League Baseball guys said, whoa. And I kind of forgot. I'm thinking it's regular season, and I got it. Went around, so I got a little scolded. Bruce Springsteen, the funny part is, I don't know if anybody saw, they on Fanavision, they had. I think they jumped the chyron a little too quickly, and they put Bruce Springsteen in front of Miles Teller. Yeah. So we were calling him boss all night.
I saw John Clark from NBC 10 tweeted out that he said that's actually Miles Teller's dad. Miles, his dad.
Right. Some fan thought that was his dad was Bruce.
Yes.
And,
my God.
And when we walked the exit of the ballpark last night, we had to go past all the media, and all the media were like, Bruce. Right. So now, actually, I thought I was going to have to walk him out because I went down to take Miles out of the ballpark, and Larry Maggot sees me and says, John, are you here to take us out? Meaning Larry and Bruce Springsteen. And I said, sure. And then I looked at one of our interns and said, can you take Miles out? I'm going to get this guy. And then Kevin Beal in our office said he was always in charge, and he came down, so it was a little bit of a scramble. So.
That's a lot of juggling, but I mean, what are you going to do? And again, you just soak up every bit of it.
Exactly right.
Yeah.
It's exactly.
It's too good.
It's been so much fun. I mean, again, I mentioned Jason Kelsey. We had all these different people. It's been awesome. This whole playoff run has been no matter what happens. Obviously, I'm hoping we're in a parade. We're best of three. Obviously, I'm dying to get another ring so I can leave in the bathroom.
How much in advance of say the first lady visiting are you guys apprised of it?
Well in advance.
Well in advance. I would imagine. Yeah.
I think I'm having more fun this year than I did in 2008 too, and that was a magical run with a great team. I really love the guys on this team. I love the post-game interviews last night. Everybody, to a man, they were all just like, yeah, all right, this happened. Let's flush it. Let's move on. And I was thinking about like Ted Lasso, like be a goldfish. Like these guys don't think about what happened last night, and they didn't really relish too much in what happened the night before. They knew that they still needed to get 2 wins. I was there for Game 3, which was so much fun, an awesome atmosphere. I got to be there with my dad, which was an incredible thing. But 5 home runs and the place was going nuts. Last night was the opposite of that. But the players are just like, okay, that's fine. That happened tonight. Let's go out and take care of business for Game 5.
You're exactly right, and they're a lovable group. I mean, again, you got Kyle Schwarber, who is very blue collar. Who's been here 1 year, right?
Yeah.
And the fans have really kind of embraced him, and he's embraced the fans. And Bryce Harper got it right from the get go. He's wearing Fanatic shoes, during the press conference. And then you got Reese Hoskins, who's been here for a long time. They've just identified with everybody on this team. Even like you have Brandon Marsh with a long beard. Everyone just has their identity. Everyone, has a different person. There's young guys, there's veterans, there's guys who've just been here making a lot of money, guys who just got here not making a lot of money.
By the way, Brandon Marsh, his hair is wet, not greasy, right?
Yes.
I thought he said he hasn't washed it.
Well, I guess maybe it's a combination.
But does he keep wetting it? Because it can't stay wet for 4 hours.
He has to
keep
pouring the water on there. But you're right, Kathy, too.
Yeah.
It's but I love the fact I mentioned earlier it's a tribute to his father. So that's a great story in itself.
Oh, I don't. I'm sorry. When
what's
did you
that
mention
story?
Oh, did I not mention?
No.
So his father passed away. Obviously, very last year in 2022, he was diagnosed with cancer. It came back in another area. I think he had throat cancer began, and then it went down, I believe, to his kidney. And so he was able to spend time with him in 2022, and then he shortly passed away. And his dad was very meticulous about his grooming. So he would get a haircut every week, and he was very clean shaven. And so this is his tribute to his dad to have the ZZ Top beard, long, stringy hair.
I knew that.
Yeah, so it's a great tribute to him, and And again, it just adds another story that it's why you love this team
I
on
love
so many
watching
levels.
his hair like fly as he
Right.
runs.
By the way, he's only 24 years old.
He's the youngest guy on the team.
It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
He doesn't look it. I mean, the beard definitely masks some of that. And, of course, his play, he seems like a veteran. I mean, he's catching all these fly balls that could easily be singles out there.
He almost reminds me, now this is a big, probably too big of a comment, but Gary Maddox would be out there in center field, and he had those long strides, and he had the great jump on the ball, and he would just make a hard play look difficult. And he does that. I mean, he gets great jumps on the ball, and it's so nice to have a defensive outfielder who also brings some offense. So it's kind of nice.
Wow.
The number 5 has been all around this series. You know, they jumped out to a 5-0 lead. Then it was 5-5. We ended up winning 6-5, and then we ended up losing 5-2. Then we hit 5 home runs, and then we lost 5-0. And then Reese Hoskins' wife is buying beers in the 5th inning.
The Fanatic does his dancing in the 5th inning? Right?
Yeah.
That one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know.
Where are we going? So the 5th inning's going to be something big, or we're going to win 5-0 tonight? Or
I would like that. Or they're going to score
Game
so
5?
many points that they're going to end it at Game 5.
Well, I just hope that the big number for 5 is that we win Game 5, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm hoping.
I mean, it's going to be, this is going to be, I know a lot of you guys are coming to the game tonight, but it's going to be, the crowds, this is obviously a huge game, the understatement of the year, a huge game. But I think we're going to be so nervous, and I just hope we can get off, because when we've done well, we get off to a good start, and then the crowd erupts, and then the pitcher gets rattled. And you got Verlander, who hasn't won a World Series game ever.
Right.
He's 0 for 7 or 0 for 6, 0 for 7. He's got the highest ERA of any pitcher who's had X amount of innings in a World Series. So hopefully he's got that in his head. The fans remind him of that, and that we get him rattled enough that we win Game 5.
One of the things I love about this, all you touched on kind of earlier, is what a likable group these guys are. We were on with Anthony Gargano yesterday on our sister station, and talking. I was talking about how as opposed to, say, the Astros and also the Padres, when I look at those guys, I look at that lineup, I see a lot of really serious, kind of angry men.
Right.
And when I see our guys, I see some fellas that are having a good time. You know what I mean? Do you kind of get that vibe?
Totally
you know what
do.
I mean?
Well, you see when they celebrate in the dugout after if someone hits a home run, they do a little bit of tunnel. You can see them hugging and do their little things. I knew Game 3, we had, Game 3, Miles Teller was on the pregame show on Fox. And this is probably about an hour and a half before the game. You would think the guys are, pretty intense. Well, the guys are coming off the field, and in the middle of the interview, because the stage is right off first base, Nick Castellanos comes jumping on the stage, grabs a microphone, starts messing around with Miles and everybody else. Kyle Schwarber comes on and starts messing around because Kevin Millar was on there, and they all knew Kevin Millar from, I guess, back in the playing days. So they were, but I'm looking at that saying, you know what? I think we're going to win today. These guys are really loose right now.
Right,
It's a huge game. These guys don't look like uptight at all. They look pretty relaxed. And I think you got to give a lot of tribute and credit to Rob Thompson, our manager, who's just about as even keel as you can get. So whether it's up or down, and last night was a big down, not getting a hit, but I think that this team, can easily come back. As I mentioned, we did that after a no-hitter in April.
If you follow the Phils on Instagram, every game in the Instagram stories, they'll show a lot of the players walking in. On Halloween, one of the players was dressed up as Michael Myers. I don't know if you saw that, John.
I did not.
But full mask, full regalia, and I don't know if they ever uncovered who that player was. I think Garrett Stubbs showed up dressed like a taco in honor of a Schwarber stolen base the night before. So these guys are having a good time. And whoever the Michael Myers guy was, he wasn't breaking character. He was completely silent, walking down the tunnel, dressed with the mask and everything. It's great.
It's great. It's been the most fun ride. I've been there 29 years, and the 2018 was great in that ride. The first time we'd won a World Series since 1980. But this one is just that lovable. It has that more 93 vibe as opposed to the 2008 or 1980 vibe.
I'm going to get down there around like 6:30 or so. Give us some time to take in.
And watch Casey
everything.
naked.
Yeah, well, that's not till the third inning.
No, I'll be by myself.
Yeah.
But where do you recommend that I go if I'm going to be there?
Well,
an hour and a half.
Right when you get there, go to the block party right on CB Way. We have the split decision band. We're gonna have a pep rally at about 6:45 with some celebrities. There's food trucks. There's a Ferris wheel with a Budweiser Clydesdales out there. So it's kind of a big street fair out there. So I would recommend doing that. Then get in the gates. I would just take in the festivities. There'll be batting practice. You'll see all kinds of stuff on the field, whether it's Fox doing their pregame show. So and the store, go into the store at that point.
Yeah.
If you go on CB Way, there's a big merchandise tent. So you can get your merchandise out there or go into the store. I'm wearing a World Series hat right now, and there's a bunch of great World Series gear. So
Cool.
it's
By the way, a split decision yesterday, calling out one Preston Elliott, saying that you needed to come jam with them.
Shut up.
Yeah.
While they were there?
Last night, I believe Jazzy Jeff was there too. Or
he was.
Yeah, and
Yep.
so
I'll get up and play with those guys.
Yeah, so they were saying, in order to bring some good luck.
Yeah,
All right.
absolutely.
Done and done.
Yeah.
I know where I'm going.
This is pretty cool too. That I just found this out yesterday. That after the Eagles game, they have this big press conference, right? Obviously after every game. Well, Jason Kelsey, it was his turn to talk, and they said, what do you think? Someone asked him, what do you think about the vibe in Philadelphia? I know you were over the Phillies game. You saw the energy and electricity that was going over there. How's that affecting you guys? And he said something like, I'll have to get the tape because I haven't seen it. He said, well, I was over there and I was hanging out with this guy, John Brazier. His title's Director of Fun and Games. Is that the coolest title or what? In the middle of an Eagles press conference, he's giving me a shout out about my title. I was like, wow.
That's awesome.
Isn't that awesome?
Yep. All right. Well, we will see you there tonight, man.
I will.
We're excited.
Go Phils.
Go Phils. John Brazier, Director of Fun and Games. How cool is that title? He'll be there tonight.
We did our part now.
Yep. All right. We're going to take a break. We'll come back in a second. The Bizarre File is up when we return. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
All 93.3 WMMR.
Acme Market.
Story the other day about a home coloring procedure that you can do for hair.
Yeah.
And we're going to try it out today. We're going to give this a shot. Should I reveal what
by all
it is?
means.
Apparently, you can color your hair with Nutella. The dip, the chocolatey hazelnut dip.
I love it. It's one of my absolute favorite things to eat. And so you've always had an issue with...
I used to dye my beard because I have a gray beard and I have darker brown hair, little tufts of gray.
Yes,
but
distinguished.
Anyhow, and so it's a stark contrast between the two. And I used to dye it, and then I found out that I'm allergic to the hair dye.
Yeah.
And I mean, like
burning.
burns on my face. I should have shaved today. Damn it, I didn't do it. I have a little bit of...
Well, what do you...
No, that's
if
okay.
you
I feel
shave...
like you need it. I want it longer.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. Anyway.
I'm the stylist in this, by the way.
Okay, yeah, Kathy is going to be a stylist. So we're going to try dyeing my beard with Nutella today.
So Kathy's going to nut all over your face.
She's going to nut on my face.
Well, there's this. It looks like in the video anyway, if this even works, is that there's some condensed milk. So yeah, I might
lick your face, dude.
Okay.
I might be licking your face.
You want to start with that? It'll look like you
I know.
Kathy's nutting all
totally glazed me. Anyhow, so we're going to try this out today, and we'll see if it works or not. Ooh, Kathy is putting on rubber gloves.
Oh.
What are we doing here?
I think we're getting a rectal search.
Call Dr. Mike.
Sir, what are we going to do here today?
Oh, okay. We're doing
the
role
full
play.
treatment. Yeah.
Role play.
All right,
Well,
you're a border guard.
I wanted to darken up my beard a little bit. It's kind of salt and pepper, but I'm allergic to chemicals, so I need something a little more natural.
Oh, I know what we can do. I have Nutella and something that looks like man juice.
I love that stuff. Man juice and Nutella. Let's give it a try. All right, hang on.
And Kathy came with all the professional equipment, a garbage bag, which has a hole punctured in it that she's putting over Preston's head.
We don't want you to get dirty.
It's a nice little smock. It barely covers your shoulders.
So I'm going to have to leave my headphones off, right? Yeah, because you're going to get up here.
Yeah, come on, man. What are you, a professional? What?
Do you have a brush?
So we're just going to have you tilt your head back a little bit.
Ooh.
All right, now lean in a little more to the microphone,
guys like
Kathy.
that?
You're going to have to rub your breasts on Preston's face.
No, it's as far as...
All right, so we have a mixture. Is it a mixture of Nutella and half and half?
Well, no. So it's Nutella, and then you just take the condensed milk and you kind of sprinkle it on his face afterwards. That's what the video does. So that's
This
what
is
I'm
like
gonna
a
do.
bad gay porn movie.
All right, I got it a little closer now.
This is really bad.
Can I get a scalp massage, too, while you're back there?
Listen, we don't do that here.
No, that's
shocking.
That's the hair equivalent of a handy.
Okay.
I thought you were going to be.
It's just a hand.
Using like a brush, like a.
I got a brush.
She's using a spoon.
We got to put it on.
All right, so she's now ladling the Nutella, which is thick, man.
Yeah, how do you not just want to
Oh my God.
eat it right
this
away?
looks like a sequel to Two Girls in a Cup.
Awesome.
All right, so she's spreading it on his beard. He's eating the Nutella. It's disgusting. Oh my God.
Casey.
All right, so the Nutella is being.
No, Preston, you got a little.
It looks like someone crapped on your chin.
Now listen.
Oh
right.
my
Video, he
God,
does,
Chuck
like-
Berry would be all over this.
Yeah,
It
yeah.
does patches, so I'm gonna do.
Save that. Save that to the hard drive.
And then I'm gonna rub it in.
All right, so he's got dollops of what appear to be crap on his beard. It's Nutella, though. Are you putting that in his nose?
Oh my God.
Don't you want your mustache done?
It's
God, what a soothing
the size
voice.
Of a dog turd.
She's got a can of condensed milk. How are you going to pour that on his beard?
They did in the video.
You got to pour it lightly because it's a full, wide open can.
Oh my God. Oh my God. What are you doing?
She's.
What are you doing?
What?
It's hot.
Dude.
Oh my God.
You're dying
Oh
alive.
my God. She poured like an
going
9 ounces.
down
It's
my
going
neck.
down his neck.
Rub it in together.
That is a filthy mess.
Okay, now she's rubbing it in. Okay.
This.
Because he had a giant glob.
What do they call this? This swirl, this frothy swirl that occurs after backdoor stuff?
I don't know.
They don't call it.
Is that felching? No, that's with the straw.
Schmegma.
No.
Oh my God, this looks
Ew,
disgusting.
the condensed milk is making the Nutella like
Yummy.
gross looking. And
No, this is not yummy. This is weird.
Oh, well, there we go.
Yeah, it's coming in together nicely.
Get up on the sideburns there, Kathy.
Okay.
Yeah, you can do sideburns.
All right.
I mean, yeah, I mean, because it's right now, it really does look like someone took a full-blown dump on your face. It really does. But this is, okay, so when you're done nutting on his face, let us know when you need to. How long does it need to sit for?
That's the mystery. I don't know, Kathy.
Like 2 hours.
That's it.
Is this just a practical joke from the Nutella world?
Seriously, I think it might be because this condensed milk is really making the consistency of the Nutella disgusting.
Well, I always wanted a pearl necklace, and now I have one. I'm breaking out my camera. I'm going to put it in.
This is part of the one DJ in a dumpster.
No, you know who I look like?
Oh.
Yukon Cornelius, man.
Yes.
Nothing.
If this turns out to be an elaborate practical joke, it's a good one.
It is a good one.
Because we fell for it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not like there's a bad ending to this.
Right.
You look like this looks like the last scene in the most horrific gay porn ever made.
Yeah, I'm a mess.
It's called Taco Tuesday.
You've got.
Did I get some on my headphones?
You did.
Damn it.
I know. It's
I didn't. I tried. Oh, yeah.
no, Preston
sorry.
did it. It wasn't. It's
you're
not
right.
you, Kath.
He's licking them off.
I'm just trying to see if
How long?
if there is a if it says how long. So let me just check here.
So this is a beauty hack. If this works, you might have something here, Preston. I would do it. I would not do it this way. So we're going to do a post Nutella reveal.
I'm wearing a Michael Jackson mask.
And by the way,
he brought me into the bathroom when I was wiping off the Nutella from my beard, which we were trying to use as hair dye in case you were just tuning in.
this looks all right. So if you didn't hear that, he's wearing a Michael Jackson mask currently because we're going to get a reveal on air. He had Nutella in his beard as a dyeing agent, and we're going to find out if it works. I will tell you what? You look better with that Michael Jackson mask than Michael Jackson ever looked.
It's white Michael Jackson, by the way.
Okay, so you guys ready?
Yeah.
All right,
So before we before we reveal, you took a peek. Any feelings before you reveal to us?
No.
Okay.
I'm going to let you guys take a look. I
right.
don't want to tip the hand.
All right. So we can get a drum roll case.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, Michael. Reveal.
And here we go.
So the exact same.
Not a damn thing.
Well, your skin is a little dyed on the cheeks.
It's nothing.
Nothing.
It's nothing.
Literally
anything.
Nothing. It is a complete lie.
Damn it.
Jack Nicholson has been enjoying a much quieter life since his last significant acting role in 2010, which was How Do You Know?
Which he shot here.
That's correct. But now his longtime friend and Easy Rider co-star Peter Fonda says that the legendary actor is retired.
Like retired?
At the age of...
I beg your pardon?
He's retired at the age of 79. Fonda said, I think he is basically retired. I don't want to speak for him, but he has done a lot of work, and he's done very well as a person financially.
What kind of project do you think would get him out of retirement and acting again? And I have something in mind. Monster Trucks 2.
Oh, really?
Wait a second. There's an actual monster in the... Oh, that's perfect.
No, I think Connery's up for that role, Steve.
Yeah, this thing just puked in the glove compartment. It's all right. It's just a monster. It's very benign and benevolent. Kind of reminds you of like a whale or something. But it's got tentacles. I don't know what the hell it is. It's a disgrace.
So it's a buddy movie.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, Connery...
I can't even put my drink in the cup holder because the monster's tentacle is blocking it. Calm down, you old idiot.
But Connery, he retired a few years back as well. And I think it's just Jack's time to do the same thing. You know,
God,
they both have a huge body of work, and
you can't say Jack Nicholson hasn't lived.
So there is controversy in the offices of WMMR. I've heard. I've heard. Chuck's cereal bowl has gone missing.
What?
The second one.
Again. Yes. Chuck's first cereal bowl went missing a few months ago. Now, the thing about this bowl, there was nothing special about it.
It wasn't handed down from grandparents.
Well, no. I mean, in its appearance. It was just a plastic, yellowish...
Faded yellow
bowl.
Well, you might even walk past it on a shelf.
But when I say nothing special in appearance, does not mean that it was not special to him. Because, Chuck, this was a cereal bowl from your childhood?
I didn't know we were doing this today.
Sorry, but
are you emotionally prepared for this?
The first one that went missing, I've probably been eating cereal out of that bowl since I was 6.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Why would you bring that to work, though?
Because I love that bowl.
All right.
And then I eat my cereal.
So you had the first bowl goes missing. How does that happen? Take us through that.
It wasn't there.
Yeah.
How do you know? Where did you leave it? Where was it?
Probably in the kitchen.
It was probably on top of the microwave.
I probably do that once a week for the past 150 years.
What you've done what once a week?
Left it in the kitchen, or I grab it the next day.
I've seen it on top of the microwave.
Yeah,
Chuck, son, it's not your fault.
It's not. I know it's not my fault.
It's not your fault.
I know, and I'm going to burn this place down.
I don't blame it, Kat. I totally do not subscribe to this, Kathy.
Do not leave it out there.
opinion.
If it's your things and you want to keep an eye on it, you don't want somebody to take it, don't leave it out in a community area.
Listen,
I'm here at MMR where we're all family, I mean, come on.
We're all family.
No.
Somebody's using it. Someone else is using it.
Kathy.
Someone else is using the family bowl.
Kathy.
Yeah.
I agree. You see a sweet bowl like that,
You want to get your hands
you're
on
gonna
it.
take it.
It's gotta be mine.
I don't care who owns it.
All right.
I don't care if it's the CEO of Beasley. I'm grabbing a sweet bowl like that.
Well, here's the deal.
Somebody did, right?
Here's the deal. I don't think anybody took the bowl.
You don't.
Oh,
No.
Casey has a theory on this, by the way.
I think somebody threw,
And it begins in Mesopotamia.
Well, and the word was, the way Casey set it up to me, he's like, I know what happened, and it's BS.
It is BS.
Well, and I think I know too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think I know who it is.
Yeah, no, I know who it is. So here's the deal. Chuck, before, I thought somebody took your bowl. But today, I think your first bowl was thrown away. I think your second bowl was thrown away as well.
Because it was left.
Because it was left in the sink. Now, here's where I have the problem, right? Because I understand you're going to leave stuff in the common area. And for some reason, that irks people, right? And their irkitude supersedes your need to have this bowl, so they throw it away. So here's what happened on Monday. On Martin Luther King Day, when nobody was in the office except for us.
A day of service, traditionally.
Yeah. Nobody was in the office except for us, the morning show.
Beguile. So, yeah, one of them is to engage the interest of, like you were saying, Steve, to enchant, kind of. But it can also be used to, like, hoodwink. You can Here's an example. Beguiled her classmates into doing the work for her. So you can kind of do it by deception.
Seduction, charm your way. Yes, that's all right there. And it's also very runny stool.
Very runny stool is beguiled.
Yeah. I just took a bad beguile.
All right. All right, it is time to do the B file, so let's go to that.
WMMR presents Preston and Steve's Bizarre File.
Brought to you this morning by IBEW 654. You can join Jackie Bam Bam for the IBEW 654's Toys for Tots Drive. It's happening Saturday, November 12th from 11 to 1 at the Boothwyn Union Hall, and that's at 3729 Chichester Avenue. And you can get into the spirit of giving this holiday season. Speaking of the holiday season, 2 runaway Christmas baubles or ornaments, each larger than cars, were spotted tumbling through central London yesterday.
This has been like rolling wrecking balls.
The decorative balls were seen flying down what appeared to be Tottenham Court Road, bouncing into the path of oncoming traffic. One of the oversized baubles was filmed hitting a lamppost, causing it to shed its glittery skin. It's unclear where the balls had escaped from, but
where are my balls?
As they rolled down the street, drivers were filming, having to take evasive action.
God, these things are enormous.
Dodge their ricocheting path. Yeah, they're really big. They're the size of cars.
Oh, my God.
The footage was posted on social media on Halloween.
I want to do that.
A man pretended to be a student and lived in several Stanford University dorms for at least 10 months.
Okay, how old was he?
It doesn't say.
Yeah.
The university's Department of Public Safety cited the man for violating the law for the first time he was found living in a dorm in December of 2021, but that didn't
want to
deter him.
smell a sorority girl.
Since then, campus police officers have obtained multiple stay-away orders.
Yeah.
A prerequisite to citing someone for trespass on campus, but they weren't able to locate the man until last Thursday when they gave him a stay-away letter and removed him from campus. According to spokeswoman Dee Mustafi, she said that the university has protocols and policies that prevent non-students from entering and living in the dorms.
So you're not allowed to just go in and start living there?
Unfortunately, no. But the man's persistence and ability to ingrate himself within the student community has made it clear that gaps exist in those protocols. The university will review its procedures to prevent such an incident from happening again. A 19-year-old teen driving a pickup truck fled after a minor crash in Michigan, but when officers checked the teen's truck, they found the body of a 62-year-old man named Gabriel Seitz in the bed. Authorities arrested Stephen Freeman. He's currently being charged with concealing the death of an individual and receiving and concealing stolen property.
Not necessarily with causing it, but just not concealing it?
The cause of death has yet to be determined, but as of now, they're just charging him for having a dead body in the back of the truck. It's kind of weird.
Just roll over by a huge ornament.
Yeah. This is messed up. This is disturbing. The 2 Iowa teenagers who are accused of murdering their high school Spanish teacher with a baseball bat last year.
Right.
Apparently killed her because of a bad grade, prosecutors said in court documents. Jeremy Goodale and Willard Miller, both 17, have been charged with first-degree murder in connection with the death of Nohema Graber, their 66-year-old Spanish teacher at Fairfield High School. Until this week, the alleged motive behind the killing was unclear. Miller was upset with Graber because of a low grade that he received in Spanish class that lowered his GPA. Although Miller initially denied involvement in Graber's disappearance and death, he allegedly later stated that he had knowledge of everything but did not participate. The documents state that a witness showed authorities photos of a Snapchat conversation with Goodale that identified Goodale's admissions that he had acted in concert with another person to bring about Graber's death. The witness alleged that Goodale made statements to implicate both him and Miller in the death. Prosecutors have alleged the 2 students stalked the teacher, learned her daily routines, and then ambushed her on her daily walk.
They look like kids in this mugshot.
They returned to the scene to hide her body. And Graber was reported missing on November 2nd. Her body was found the next day hidden under a tarp, wheelbarrow, and railroad ties. So they are that is undergoing right now. An Instagram video captured a dramatic moment when a man flying in a paramotoring device or one of those motorized, microlight type of aircraft swooped in to rescue a woman submerged in a canal with her car in Miami-Dade County.
That's pretty wild.
Cristiano Piquet had been flying with a friend before church when he saw a woman in a canal holding on for her life. He recounted in the video. He said, "Oh my God, I fell with my car." The woman had told him in the video, "Oh my God, I fell with my car in here." Piquet's approximately 1.5 minute footage showed the entire sequence of events, right from the moment he lands in an open field to the moment the woman is pulled ashore. The woman can be seen or could be heard screaming for help in the video. The footage also showed emergency rescue personnel at the scene. Piquet had been recording his flight when an alligator splashing in the water had caught his attention.
Oh, man.
He said, "I turned around to get a shot of the alligator, and I saw the car under the water." Wow. And I flew.
There was an accident down here.
He was waving him down. Yeah,
about 100 yards up there.
I flew closer to the car, and I saw the woman on top.
I think it's an Infinity or something.
That was when Piquet decided to land in an open field with his paramotor, a paraglider that is fitted with an engine, and run to her assistance. He sought help from a man nearby who pulled the stranded woman to the shore.
It's amazing.
Yeah. Fire department units came and got everything under control, but he got her out of there.
That alligator's a hero.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't think the
alligator bit my hand. Oh, my God.
Thing to do with it.
Never gets old.
All right, and then one last story. A scuba diver in distress was rescued by a group of women dressed as mermaids in Catalina Island off the coast of California.
What?
Javier Claremont was diving with his father and a friend when his friend was Pablo Avila. When Mr. Avila lost consciousness, reportedly suffering from air embolism. Women trained in an advanced Patty Mermaid rescue course nearby came to the rescue after they spotted he was in trouble. The group removed Mr. Avila's gear and gave him mouth-to-mouth before taking him to paramedics. After several hours of treatment, he did regain consciousness. So he was suffering from the bends.
So are they using those? There is a particular type of fin that is like a Una fin, right? You've seen those.
Yeah. I don't know if they were swimming with those or not, but probably it's what it looks like in this picture here that they do actually.
You've got to tell me, do you have vaginas?
Because they're usually so attractive, and
where would they be?
Doesn't look like there's anything, any equipment.
Nothing.
All right, there you go. That's what I have in the Bizarre File for you. Let's take a break. Let's come back in a moment. We'll get the lesson question, the trash and music news when we get back, so stay with us.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
On a space cigar smoker, a family man. And there's a deep secret.
Despiser of clutter.
Well, and here's the thing. I've had conversations with him specifically about the kitchen, the sink, and the items that are left in the sink.
Wow, I'd love to hang out for your conversation.
That's why I was going to say I think it's Bill. I think Bill takes whatever's left in the sink, if it's left there for more than one day, and he throws it out.
So here...
That ain't cool.
Here is the BS part of it, okay?
All right.
On Monday morning, Bill was in a Bill mood and decided that he did not like the clutter that was left in the sink, Steve.
A Bill mood is easily identifiable. He's usually singing Katrina and the Waves.
Right. Let me see if I have that, by the way.
He's walking on sunshine. Whoa!
I don't have it.
And whose bowl is this?
Yeah, it stops right there.
God damn this!
He's whistling his little tune in.
Here I am walking on sunshine, and I see this clutter. I'm having a hard time wrapping my mind around Bill.
All right, well, here's
throwing away what is
because if it's left there and it's dirty, we're not going to go in there and clean it.
No, it wasn't dirty.
It wasn't in the sink. It wasn't dirty in the sink.
And Chuck,
okay, because that's usually
don't just put dirty dishes in the sink.
But that's usually what Bill has a problem with are the things that are left in the sink.
Now, if I had left it on the counter or on the microwave, somebody may have put it back in the sink, and water got in it, made it look dirty. But I don't just put my dirty dishes in the sink.
Here is the BS nature of what happened on Monday. So Bill was in his Bill Weston mood. He was walking on sunshine. He's not walking on sunshine anymore because there are 3 dishes in the sink.
3 dishes in the sink.
What I discovered is actually one of those dishes was mine. I didn't realize that there was a measuring cup left in the sink after the crock pot cook-off.
Well, Mr. Foster, you said there were 3 dishes in the sink, and now all of a sudden there's a measuring cup.
Yeah.
Which
which one is it?
But hold on. I just want to point out it was the Wednesday prior. This is now Monday.
It's now Monday.
So Bill has probably been looking in that sink, and it's been annoying him.
Right. And so I didn't realize my measuring cup was in there because I didn't actually wash the dishes after crockpot cook-off. So I didn't. So I grabbed my measuring cup, and now there are 2 dishes left in the sink. It is a plate and a bowl.
Okay.
Was it your bowl?
Here is the BS nature of it. Bill Weston then
walking on sunshine.
He was walking on sunshine, not anymore, Steve.
He did not feel good.
No. Bill Weston leaves a sign, hangs up a sign after he got done walking on sunshine.
We need like a record scratch.
He puts up a sign, an ultimatum. Take these dishes out of the sink.
Death to America.
By 10 a.m. or I'm going to throw them away.
Whoa. Now, you actually saw the sign?
Oh, yeah.
On Monday when no one was here?
When nobody was here!
You can't do
All
that.
right.
So that means
do that!
But here's the thing. That means he thinks it's us.
Please. This changes everything.
Yes.
This is like a Toyota-thon.
How is it like Toyota?
It changes everything.
It changes everything.
All right.
There you have.
Yes.
You have intent. You have a declaration that would mimic the act stated earlier.
Yes.
I rescind my earlier comment, and now I am fully on board with this theory.
We now have motive.
We now have motive. We have opportunity.
Yes.
We have silver hair. And
I submit the silver hair fibers that were found.
Silver, yes, look at this.
Yes.
Silver hair.
Well, not that she's biased, but Emma Watson, who was offered the lead role in the live-action adaptation of Cinderella but turned it down, says that she was happy to take on the role of Belle in Beauty and the Beast. She tells Total Film there's this kind of outsider quality that Belle had, and the fact that she had this really empowering defiance of what was expected of her.
She was also offered the role of Xander Cage, and then Vin Diesel came back.
In a strange way, she challenges the status quo of the place that she lives in, and I found that really inspiring. She manages to keep her integrity and have a completely independent point of view.
Who's playing the Angela Lansbury character? The pitcher or whatever.
I don't know.
I don't know who's voicing
That's sort of a critical character, is it not?
Yeah.
She was the clock or the...
There's Luminaire.
I thought it was a pitcher.
She's a pitcher, okay.
She's a catcher.
Emma Thompson.
That's a good choice, yeah.
Most stuff.
And who's playing...
Lumiere?
Yeah.
Is Ewan McGregor.
Nice.
Luke Evans, I don't know him. He's Gaston. Stanley Tucci is Cadenza. Josh Gad is in it. I mean,
who's playing the gravy boat?
Ian McKellen plays Cogsworth. Kevin Kline plays Maurice.
I'm only too happy to hold your gravy, and I promise to keep it warm before you place it upon your mashed potatoes.
He takes it very seriously.
I am the vessel by which you will pour your gravy upon your various meatloafs and mashed potatoes, and I do not take this task lightly.
Okay.
Well, he's a professional, man. He's not going to take a role that's cheesy. You know, I understand
If it is 1 degree colder, I have failed as a gravy boat, and I shall hurl myself off of the bureau.
Should I see the animated movie before I see that?
I don't know. Maybe that's not the way to go, because apparently they're saying is pretty close to a live action rendering of the animated movie. It's so weird because this stuff now starts to cave in on itself, you know?
Yeah, the story has existed for a long time before the animated movie.
Oh, yeah.
Did you see live action Cinderella?
I did. I enjoyed it.
No, I didn't.
Did you see animated Cinderella?
Well, yeah.
Okay.
When I was a kid.
Yeah, I mean, Steve's right. It's all the same story over and over again, so it doesn't really matter if you've seen it or not.
Are they working on a live action Pinocchio now?
Yes.
Are they?
Yeah, with Vin Diesel.
Oh, wow. Tale as old as time. I do know the song.
Beauty and
the Beast, and not one drop of gravy spilled.
Will you let it go?
He can't. He can't.
You know who's directing live action Pinocchio?
No.
Guillermo del Toro.
No way. Wow, well, that might be interesting then.
He is a visionary. He's a visionary.
Bitch. Wow. Is the name of that song. Makes me think of Freddy Krueger, too.
I drive a Range Rover, bitch. Get in the Range Rover, bitch. Did you bring a water bottle? It's a long drive, bitch.
9:32.
Where's the Easy Pass, bitch?
Friday morning with the Preston.
What do you call a female dog, bitch?
I actually like that.
Thank you.
Let's get a look at traffic. What's going on, Kathy?
Bitch. Give me some traffic, bitch.
Do you think like Springfield Mall has numbered days eventually? Like these
No,
because
you know
it's
what?
similar in size and everything.
Well, Springfield Mall did the right thing, and they put a Target as one of their anchor stores. So that brings in a lot of traffic. It's always packed now.
Sears and Boscov's have kind of.
What are the plans for those? Are they going to remain in the area? Because I know they're putting in apartments. Are they not in condos?
You know what? I don't know.
It's going to be a town center, and there's going to be residences there.
I don't know. Are they going to keep those stores, though?
Oh, those stores? I think so. That's why they're not down.
Although Sears is closing a lot of their stores.
But
We've got great plans for the area, bitch.
Freddy Krueger, town planner.
There's going to be a lovely promenade right over here, bitch. And bicycle racks for everyone, bitch.
Town planner.
Yeah. Just a place, a little, community center, bitch. Places where other bitches can hang out and say hi to other bitches. Bitch. Lovely day in the park. Bands can play in the gazebo, bitch.
What about things for the kids?
Things for the kids, face painting, all that stuff, bitch.
It's become cordial.
He's pointing with his razor gloves to all the areas around.
Kind of a pond, or like a large koi pond, or something for the ducks, bitch. All green, though, bitch.
All green.
Environmentally friendly?
Yeah.
I would love to see Freddy Krueger as a realtor.
Great schools in the area, bitch. And here's a nice cupboard for, your little knickknacks, bitch. And this is electric heat, bitch, so I just want to let you know. Bitch.
All right, everything to rock. 7 minutes after 10 o'clock in the Preston and Steve show. Still got a few things left to do on this beautiful, I'm going to say a beautiful week.
Yeah.
It's not just a beautiful day. Yesterday was outstanding. We get that and a little bit more today. And that just goes each and every day the rest of the weekend into early next week. So 71 today, 73 tomorrow, 78 on Saturday, 77 on Sunday, Monday, 77 degrees. I was about ready to beg somebody to have me come play golf with them on Saturday morning or Sunday morning because my golfing buddy's going to be out of town. So I'm just going to throw that out there.
Who's your golfing buddy?
You and me? What's that?
Who's your golfing buddy?
Oh, my friend Jim. We play pretty regularly.
Oh, okay.
He's going to the game with me tonight.
Okay.
But he's going out of town this weekend. I was like, hey, want to play a game this weekend?
Why don't you go with him?
Yeah.
I should. He's going to Boston. Yeah.
Hey, I don't know if you guys are aware, there's a big event going on tonight at 8 o'clock. Our friend Jake Matera he's co-headlining a comedy night at Parks Casino.
Yeah.
And he's fairly sure that it's going to sell out. So you might want to, So he's going to be at the 360 Lounge.
That's what you hope for, right? Where nothing's going on.
Yeah, he's co-headlining with Caitlin Palufo. And so, yeah, it's going to sell out. So you might want to get your tickets now.
Get them now.
Yeah, parkscasino.com.
Yep, absolutely. All right, we're going to do today's lesson question. And Nick, I'm going to have you ask away because, did you email them to me?
I'll just do it.
Okay, that'd be great. So, by the way, we're going to give away a pair of tickets to see Paul Reiser Friday, November 11th at the Keswick Theater.
All right.
All right, what is it?
What was Meatloaf's official name when he died?
Wow. Oh, yeah. All right, 215-263-WMMR. Let's see if you know the answer to this. All right, so what was Meatloaf's name when he died? 215-263-WMMR. That was from early this morning. Let's do the trash while you call in.
The trash business is a gold mine. 93.3 WMMR with Preston and Steve's Hollywood Trash.
Brought to you by Monster Mania. You can see the biggest names in horror at monstermania.com. Monstermania.con, not .com. 52.
Yes.
It's at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center in Oaks, November 11th through the 13th. Tickets available online at monstermania.net. There you go. What's going on, Steve?
Well, a prequel series based on the Friday the 13th horror film franchise has been given the go-ahead by Peacock. The series will debut next October and will be called Friday the 13th, but not that one.
Oh, my God.
Tristan Thompson and Khloe Kardashian have reportedly considered moving back to reuniting after he was seen attending her Halloween party. Yeah, I know, it's hard to believe. However, sources say Khloe is not happy that Tub Girls has spent more time on his member than his foreskin.
Hey!
And finally, 26-year-old Miss Argentina 2020 Mariana Varela and 22-year-old Miss Puerto Rico 2020 Fabiola Valentin confirmed they recently got married. Pageant host Steve Harvey says knowing that Varela and Valentin are free to love each other fills him with boner. And that's your Hollywood.
All right, we are looking for the answer. What was the name of Meatloaf when he died? 215-263-WMMR. Remember, you had to have heard this on the show earlier this morning. We will go to Mike, see if we can get the answer. Hey, Mike, how you doing, bud?
Hey, mere dirty.
man.
Mike.
All right, Mike, what was Meatloaf's name when he died?
Double beat loaf.
Double Meatloaf, yes.
Hi, Mike.
Hang on, Mike. We're gonna get your information one more time. I love that.
Hi, Mike.
We're gonna set you up with a pair of tickets to see Paul Reiser Friday, November 11th, Keswick Theater in Glenside. Tickets are on sale now at AXS.com.
Now, Preston and Steve's Music News on 93.3 WMMR.
Brought to you this morning by Campbell's Chunky Sacks Hunger, proud sponsor of Camp Out for Hunger. You can team up with Chunky and this year's Soup Squad to help sack hunger in our community. And we'll see them at the Camp Out for Hunger. All right, I'm going to start with this, man. I didn't know this. Bono was in town on Tuesday, and he just swung by. He swung by a bookstore. It was a surprise to the people that work there. Uncle Bobby's Coffee and Books. And Bono was in the area and stopped in to sign copies of his newest book, Surrender. And I don't think he was...
It's an honor to meet you, Uncle Bobby.
I don't think he was doing an appearance or anything like that. I think he just swung by there. I don't know. Nick, do you know any more about it than this post?
No, I really don't.
Yeah, it just says here on their official Instagram page, says yesterday Bono was in town, dropped by for a visit. He signed some copies of his newest book, had a latte, and even bought some books and merch for himself and his team. And it was a pleasure. And there's a picture with him and either the owner or a worker there. And that's so awesome.
Yeah.
I would love to talk to him.
If it's your friend named Gary in Kensington.
Juniata Park.
Juniata Park. He's the mayor.
That's right.
Yeah. I would love to talk to him, man.
Oh, come on.
What a fascinating individual.
All this time.
Yeah.
There are a lot of people that owe us lengthy interviews in my mind.
Yeah. There's a video of Cindy Drew from our sister station, from MGK, when Bono... when Bono was but a lad... and had arrived in Philadelphia for one of his first ever appearances here, and she was the person that gave him a ride around town.
Yeah,
I just made a doo-doo in my diaper.
Well, he wasn't that little, but how cool is that?
That is very cool.
Heading to the venue in the Winnebago.
Yeah, in the Winnebago. Yeah,
peeling him off. 1 cheesesteak, 2 cheesesteaks.
I got to meet him with Pierre in 2004, and Pierre relayed that Cindy Drew story to Bono, and Cindy Drew was there. She took some photos of it, and I don't think Bono was BSing. He said he remembered it, and he's 4 radio stations played U2 when they got to this country, and MMR was one of them, and Bono has not forgotten it, and he was a super nice guy. It was a really cool experience.
One time I'll get into that studio and play, the BB gun game.
Crack shot.
With Preston. Is that what they call it?
Yeah.
That's very clever.
Yeah, you were here slapping him down. Yeah, it was...
1 BB gun at a time.
All right. So anyhow, cool that Bono is in town, if not for just a little while. Slipknot frontman Corey Taylor has opened up about getting sober during an interview. Taylor, who has been sober since 2010, said the first few years is weird because you realize quickly how much a part of your personality booze has become. And you kind of have to sort out who you are what you're comfortable with and largely just the habit of it. He said, I was never a big beer drinker, so non-alcoholic brew, that wasn't the key. So I started with sodas and then just kind of went to water, and now that's just what I do. He said, to me, going out and hanging out in a pub or a bar or whatever is more about the company you keep. And you realize at some point the golden moment is going to go away. So you try to time your departure right around that time when you're just like, okay, we got about 10 minutes before he becomes a super mess. So I'm going to split, and I'm going to talk to you guys later. He said, I try not to do the Irish goodbye, everybody, where, you just leave. I only did that, really, when I was drinking. He said, but I make sure that everybody's good. I make sure that everybody's, hey, okay, if anybody needs a ride home, I'm the first one to do it. Because it's usually just me and my wife. And my wife still drinks, but she's very social. She's way better at it than I was.
You should call up Cindy Drew.
He does the Irish goodbye.
Yeah.
He's going to be at Monster Mania.
He said, usually right about the time that she's starting to kind of, she's like, I'm tired. We need to split. And I'm like, you had me at I'm ready to go.
Yeah.
So we're out the door and heading for home. So he will be at Monster Mania.
Monster Mania, yeah.
I love the Irish goodbye. It's like my favorite kind of
Oh, my God,
goodbye.
I have to sometimes.
I do, too.
I love my wife, Claire. She's wonderful, but she knows this. The departure begins, and then the process begins.
Yeah, so if Rochelle is with me, there's no such thing as an Irish goodbye. It's me dragging her by her leg out of wherever we are.
See, mine is just, it takes long because I have to say goodbye to everyone.
Right.
Like, I don't usually stop and talk and spark up a new conversation, but there's usually so many people there that it just takes forever.
I think the greatest words you could possibly hear in the distance, where's Steve? Yeah. That means
you're gone.
Hasty retreat.
Mm-hmm. Hailstorms, Lizzie Hale has opened up about the possibility of a solo album. I always thought she was kind of a solo act as it was.
Yeah.
I mean, Hailstorm is a band, but during an interview, when asked if she thought there'd ever be a solo album for her, she said, there might be. So my guys in the band are actually begging me to do that. They're the ones going, hey, can you do a solo album so we have some time off? She said, I have a lot of songs that are very much, and then she paused and said, well, if you're thinking of Stevie Nicks' Belladonna, you can hear when you're listening to Fleetwood Mac and when you're listening to Stevie Nicks' solo records where her voice is in the band. Fleetwood Mac would not be the same without her, but you can really accentuate that corner of the world of the band. She said, I feel like if I were to do a solo record, which I have plenty of songs that have never seen the light of day that I could choose from, you would definitely be able to hear what my specific influence is on the band. Lizzie went on and said, yeah, absolutely. I think that it most likely will be in the future. Whether it's my decision or the guys, like you just go, either way, it's going to happen, she said.
Last time I was in Philadelphia, got driven around by an orangutan on a golf course. And we listened to the Fleetwood Mac songbook. It was great. He was very cash, kind of leaning to one side with his arm hanging out. His long simian arm with all that tensile strength.
And the sounds of
Did I just hit the post?
Stevie Nicks' voice. I think he did kind of hit the post. All right, so Paul Stanley shed light on his 50-year friendship with Gene Simmons. During a fans Q&A while on board the latest Kiss cruise, Stanley spoke frankly.
Charles.
Oh, no.
Oh, no. Still going?
Murray.
Murray the chicken.
Tico. Ronaldo. Sanjay.
Oh, Sanjay.
It's a lot of chickens.
So anyhow, he said, we're very different, but we certainly share a pride in what we do, a work ethic. Maybe because our parents came from Europe, where I think that's important stuff, is the pride in the work that you do to work hard for your money. Other than that, he said, I think one of the things that took me a long time to learn, and I think Gene, by the way, I mean, he's family to me. He said he's a brother. I remember that there were things about him that used to drive me crazy. But then I realized that that's not his issue. That's my issue. And he wanted to say, when people do things and it bothers you, you need to figure out why it bothers you, not expect them to change. It's not about them.
Paul,
and
could
things.
you come over? I think I've lost a chicken.
God damn it.
Well, it's not about you, Paul.
Yeah.
It's about Gene.
It's not your chicken.
He said
he does love his chickens.
He said, and And things that used to bother me about Gene, I just had to kind of figure out, well, wait a minute. That's my issue. That bothers me. And why does it bother me? Because he can only be the best that he can be. He's never going to be me, and I'm never going to be him. So it's just a matter of putting a lot of that stuff aside.
He's right.
And we're not going to change anybody else. So we need to figure out why it bothers us. And I see that. I like that. I think that's good. However, if somebody's just a jerk all the time, then it's them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So.
Well said.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Gene.
And Paul is a jerk.
Meanwhile, Gene is just, I hate that guy. Yeah. He just takes a different tack.
Goddamn hate him.
All right, and then one last story. During a cross-generational chat with alternative rocker Youngblood, Roger Daltrey proved that he's still a dyed-in-the-wool, old-school rocker. Daltrey, who's now 78 years old, revealed, I don't do the internet at all. I have a very bad opinion of social media, I'm afraid. And it kind of turned bad once they put the likes in on Facebook. And then people start to play for the likes, which is their ego, and egos destroy you.
Yeah, it's very sharp.
So I don't even go there. He said, I don't care what you say about me. Do what you like. While discussing the changing trends in rock fashion, the Who frontman let it slip. He said, I got to tell you, when Axl Rose first appeared with shorts and T-shirts on stage, we all effing laughed at him. He took time out to critique the sound of the Who's last album, 2019's top 2 Who collection, by asking, what is it with American producers? He said, the last album we did, we had an American producer. I won't mention his name, but I couldn't work with him because he wanted everything in the pocket. And he said, music's not like that. Music comes from inside. If it straddles a beat, it don't matter. That's what he had to say about that. There you go.
I like him.
I do too. And that's what I have in music news for you this morning. All right, we have one final break to take. We're going to do that. We'll come back. We'll get the letter of the day for the Word of the Week prize, and we'll hand it over to Pierre Robert to give you the rest of your day. We'll be back in a moment. Stay with us.
Preston and Steve.
On 93.3 WMMR. Preston and
Freddy
Steve.
Krueger, real estate manager.
Bitch.
And his bus stop bench sign says, call me, bitch. He's the
His
Tom,
face.
Tom
Yeah.
Skivington of the underworld.
Right.
Of the other realm. But with the mustache.
And the claws. Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Oh, my back hurts.
I love it. All right.
He's slashing prices.
Yeah, somebody texts in, is he slashing prices, bitch? Brent Selleck, 31 years old today. And then it's my birthday.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Preston. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you, Kathy. I like Nick's version. He's eating a hamburger or something.
He's actually eating loose leaf paper. He's like a goat.
What? You chose to eat instead of sing happy birthday?
I took that opportunity, yeah.
That's why sometimes we have to put something heavy over the garbage can.
I'm like a bear.
Are you at all into wine?
Nah. I will. If I go out to dinner and we're drinking, I'll do cocktails beforehand.
And a little blow.
And a little cocaine. No, I'll do cocktails beforehand, but when the meal comes, there are times where I'll get a glass of wine.
Oh, you will?
Yeah, I think it pairs better with...
So will you pair, like, do you like a red, or do you just pair with whatever you're eating?
Whatever
kind of mood you're in tonight.
Yeah, exactly. A little red, a little white. I'll stick with the standard, red meat, red wine,
Okay.
Poultry and fish, maybe a white wine. But it's okay to mix it up from what I understand. That rule is not hard and fast any longer. But I will have something. I think it's easier to eat with a meal as opposed to, a Jack and Coke or something like that.
or a wine and Coke.
But I'm not a
which is disgusting.
Well, have you ever tried it?
Yes, I have.
Did you put Pepsi in my wine?
Of course I have.
A wine and Coke.
Was this in the early days?
Yeah, it was yeah. When
It's
you
like,
put anything in Coke.
Yeah. Gin and root beer.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever.
We
What
did,
can we mix with this?
Cranberry juice and rum and called it crumb. That's not good. All right.
But like a white wine spritzer, that's,
Oh, I've been doing that lately.
Have you?
Yeah, you know what? I just.
Have you really?
Yes, I've been doing white wine
that's
spritzers
awesome.
in the evening. It just helps with the hangover when you have to get up at 4 a.m.
And I've been making bracelets with my name on it.
So anyway, but I do drink wine, but I'm in no way, shape, or form do I have any room to speak on it.
My wife is definitely she's into wine, and is this volcanic thing actually piqued her interest.
Okay.
Casey, though, with the white wine spritzer, seriously, I won't take, it has to be a certain grade wine. Like, I'm not going to take something that's, mid to higher level and add, a spritz, and spritz it up.
Yeah. If it's called piss wine from the Piss Valley,
I'll spritz that.
Yeah.
So you do like a Ernest and Julio Gallo or whatever.
Right.
I'll have a glass of piss from the Piss Valley, please. It's not going to taste good.
This is a 78.
But tasting a white wine from Santorini, Greece, Zabo described the wine as...
I am Zabo.
As salty, saline, and crunchy.
Everybody, Zabo's here. Zabo. I am Zabo.
Crunchy wine.
Crunchy.
Do they can they grow grapes hydroponically?
Sure.
And would that make a
They can do anything.
Yeah, right?
They made RoboCop.
Yeah.
The movie.
They did. He's not wrong.
No, technically he's not wrong.
No. They can do anything.
He also tasted red wine from Canary Islands in Spain and another from Italy, which he described as being wonderfully perfumed, savory, potpourri, floral, and substantial.
Did he mention RoboCop?
No. Not
Zabo, what about RoboCop? What are you talking about? What?
I know you guys think I'm crazy sometimes with my taste palette, but there are, if I look at a menu, a wine menu, I will know, I don't typically like, and it's a wide range, but any wines from California. I don't think I've, and it can be anything. It doesn't have to be one specific wine.
You
but
don't like them?
Typically, anything that I've tasted, if it's from California, and I don't know, maybe it has something to do with the soil that the grapes
you
grow
said
in.
you're not fond of Mexicans.
Stop it. I never said that.
Oh,
I'm part Mexican.
Oh, okay. Well, then why would you say that? That's crazy. No. There are some people
you might have a palate for it.
That could absolutely be it.
But I'm just wondering, maybe it does have something to do with where it's, where the grapes are grown.
Yeah. I don't. There's a documentary a friend of mine recommended. I haven't seen it yet. It's about sommeliers, like master wine tasters. And I haven't seen it yet, but he said
it's about Somalians?
No, in the scene
Pay attention.
In a scene, some friends are talking to the guy. He's like, "Come on, do the thing, come on." And he's like, "I don't want to blah 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 this and that." So he ends up giving in, and they pour him a bottle of wine. He does not know where it comes from, anything like that. He is able to sample it and has such a refined palate that he can not only tell you the type, he can narrow it down to the exact vineyard that it came from.
Gosh, what?
It's some people have these incredibly sharp palates.
They're basically the Michael Jordan of the wine world. I mean, it's this rare genetic ability to do something that you can be trained as a sommelier and make it to a level where you can work in a nice restaurant and know a lot about wine. But unless you have this innate ability, you're never going to be like this guy.
It's like people with perfect pitch.
Exactly.
And there are people that can smell things as well and know exactly the origin of it, what it is.
RoboCop has a gun in his mouth.
Well, there's a to reference a movie.
Move along. Drink your wine and move along.
There's a scene in one of the Hannibal Lecter films that he leaves a scent of a hand cream on a letter, and they bring in all these perfume people, and they're able to smell and find out exactly where it came from. And there are legitimately people that can do that. Same thing with wine.
People who work in the perfume industry are paid many millions of dollars because of that ability.
Yeah.
Not that I'm an expert, but I drink Sauvignon Blanc and from New Zealand. There are different wines from New Zealand that I really really love. But to some people, it's going to taste very similar. It's going to taste the same. So we did a taste test, and it was 4 different Sauvignon Blancs from New Zealand, and I picked out each one and which was which.
Okay.
Wow, you're like the RoboCop.
Well, no, but it was like
you're like the RoboCop in New Zealand.
I'm from New Zealand. Lead me to your wine.
No, you have a great nose and a really refined palate.
And awesome boobs.
And a pointy nose.
I would not say a great nose, man. I can't take scents. Like, it gives me a headache.
Your nose has abilities.
Yes, it does.
Is Psalm the name of that documentary?
This is the one that I know about, unless there's another one. Maybe there was one that you saw that I didn't, but I've heard of this one before. SOMM.
Well, there is a documentary on Netflix that was, we put it up on PrestonSteve.com, like documentaries that you have to see. And it is about, I don't know if it's about sommeliers or wine, but it is about wine.
So it was my birthday yesterday, and I have like 6 great bottles of bourbon at home.
You got?
Yeah, some of them I got, some of them I bought, and they're of the upper level of bourbon. So, yeah. So I was sampling a few, and the best way to get a feel for them is to taste them side by side, because then you can really taste the differences between them.
No palate cleansers or anything?
No. Okay. Ice. You call that a palate cleanser? And don't give me crap because I put ice in my bourbon. But anyway, I wish I could articulate what I'm tasting. I'm like, yes, this tastes different than that, but I can't go. It has hints of caramel. We had lots of people on the show. We had nice, lengthy,
maybe they were boring,
enjoyable conversation. No, they were
good, right?
They were great. In fact, we started off our first conversation this morning with Mr. Greg Harris, who's the president and CEO of the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. And the 2022 induction ceremony is this Saturday. I know what it was. We played really short songs today. Like almost every song we played was a sub 3-minute song.
And we don't play a lot of songs.
No, we played.
So we play short songs. It's going to impact us.
Well, short songs say so much.
Yeah, they do.
But we played some Green Day. We played some ZZ Top.
We're on for 5 hours basically a day, and that's a long road.
It's a long
Taron Killam.
Yeah, nice guy.
Saturday Night Live, and he has his show on Prime Video. It's called the NFL Pylon. He was great, man. I mean, I'm not the biggest NFL dude, but I really enjoyed the chat we had with him.
Yeah.
That was cool. And he's taking a comedic look at, like you were saying, Steve, it's almost like a talk soup type of vibe.
Daily Show.
About the week of what happened in the NFL.
Yeah.
So he's taking that angle on things. And John Brazier. We love John Brazier, director of Fun and Games at the Phils, and was just telling us some stories of the last couple of nights and some things that he's experienced and some of the celebrities. And
they're coming out of the woodwork, right?
Yeah, how the team members are, just a little behind-the-scenes stuff that's happening. And that's a lot of fun because there's a lot going on.
Oh, my God.
At that stadium.
He had to lead the Pope out last night, and get him out to his limo. It was crazy.
I'm sure. Absolutely. So it was nice seeing John, and hopefully we'll see him tonight. A few of us are going to the game this evening. The weather's going to be just wonderful for this, which is a rare thing. Good morning, Pierre Robert.
Good day, then.
Nice to see you, sir.
Very nice to see you kids.
Yeah.
How is it outside?
It's lovely.
All right, good.
Yeah, it's a perfect fall day.
I love that.
Yeah, it's and the trees are, we've got some nice color. The leaves are soon to be gone, but there's still some really brilliant color in there.
I have to say that, and I'm pleasantly surprised because I'd seen a report that the colors were going to be less vibrant this year because of the summer that we had, and there was a bit of a drought. They're stunning.
Yeah,
it's just especially about maybe 4 or 5 days ago. Right. Some of them have hit the ground, but I've just been in awe of the show that Mother Nature has put on this fall. It's been fantastic.
It's a little later than usual, too.
Yeah.
Up in Vermont, which is like if you've ever gone there in peak season, and I did once.
It's amazing.
It's like nothing you can imagine.
Sure.
Mountain after mountain after mountain of these flashing oranges and yellows and reds. It's so stunning. But we get a taste of that down here, but much later than they do. You can follow the trail of the color as it comes down the coast, and there's still a little bit of nice color out there.
Yeah, take it in while you can before it's gone. All right, so we should do the letter of the day. You cool?
Yes.
All right.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.
Now, the Daily Letter.
All right, the Preston and Steve Show is brought to you today by the letter
P, as in please get out and vote on Tuesday. Very tight elections all over the place. Your vote counts, particularly youngsters. Generation X and Generation Z. Youngsters. That's what Ed Sullivan used to call them. We got some youngsters.
Yeah. The youngsters don't share for the Beatles. The youngsters.
The youngsters seem to like him.
Yeah.
But young people's vote really counts, and sometimes you don't tend to vote during the midterms. I understand, but this is a really important vote, so get out and vote, please.
We have $500 we're giving away from the Bagster. The Bagster is by far the most convenient and affordable way to help with your home cleanup. You go buy it at any home improvement store, fill it, simply schedule your collection, and it is gone. Clean it up with the Bagster. Dumpster. Dumpster in a bag. We'll give away that prize tomorrow. What's up on your show today?
More tickets for the Last Waltz with Warren Haynes on Sunday at the Met, and also workforce blocks of Aerosmith and Bob Marley and Nirvana. So nice music.
All right, excellent. I want to thank our sponsors. Do we have sponsors?
Yes, we do.
Oh, we do.
The nice folks at that company that does so much good for so many people and has great deals.
Like Acme Markets.
Oh, perfect.
Fresh foods,
They
local
actually do.
flavors.
Yeah.
Also brought to you by Squeezed.com. Feel great, lose weight with Squeezed. Tomorrow on our program, a Friday in all its Friday glory, we will also have comedian Adam Conover from Adam Ruins Everything on the show tomorrow. And we'll see what else Friday brings to us. That's it. We are done. Ray John, go Phils. We'll see you, gang. Bye-bye.